Hello everyone, very warm welcome to Sri Chaitanya Academy. My name is Kiran Chaudhary and today we will be discussing botany questions from your today's NEET FTS Grand Test paper. So let's get started, my lovely kids. Here is the first question in front of you from your first Grand Test paper. Which of the following is not an entirely true fact? Very interesting question. The options were definitely tricky. Can you guys tell me which particular option you have given as answer? Come on, everyone present in the live session. I want you to try and give me the answer in the chat box. Come on, everyone. Preetham, Ganeshan, Legend Gamer, Vrishti, very good. Very good. So Vrishti, Chandra, okay, 3 answer nahi hai beta, A answer hai. Okay, you are giving A as the answer. Very good. 1 is the answer. Absolutely correct. 1 is the answer. Competition occurs when only closely related species compete for the same resource that are limiting. So which of the following is not entirely true? The first statement is not entirely true. Why? Because even totally unrelated species could also compete for the same resource. So the second statement actually explains why the first statement is not entirely true. Correct? Next question. Very good. Participate. You never see cattle or goats browsing on wheat calotropis. Why? So what do you think is the right answer, my dear students? Come on, participate. Everyone in the chat box. Everyone. Very good. The right answer is this plant produces poisonous cardiac glycosides. Answer is 3. Next, here this is a beautiful question from the images which is there in your NCERT. So very simple. Here you are supposed to identify A, B and C. So what is the right answer? Very good. Impressive. So A is your algae, B is your lichen and C is your angiosperm. Hence the correct answer is 4. Hence the correct answer is 4. Algae, lichens and angiosperms. Next question. Species which are rich biological communities show more stability because all the 3 statements given over here are absolutely correct. Areas with more species show less year-to-year variation in total biomass. Increased diversity contributed to higher productivity and they are resistant to invasions by alien species. So all are correct. Very good. Impressive. Answer is 4. A, B and C. So let us see the next question. Okay, assertion reason-based question. Assertion says detritus food chain may be connected with the grazing food chain at some level, correct? Some of the organisms of detritus food chain are prey to GFC animals and some of organisms are omnivores. Absolutely correct. And even the reason is explaining the assertion well. Very good. Answer is 4. Both A and R are true and R is the correct explanation of A. Come on. Very good, guys. Next question on your screen. Consider these. So this is a very good statement-based question. We are expecting a lot of statement-based questions in your upcoming NEET exam. So you must practice them. Spores of slime molds. Spores of slime molds do not have any wall. This is in fact incorrect. Euglena show autotrophic as well as heterotrophic nutrition. Correct. Dinoflagellate have plated cell wall in which silica particles are embedded. No. Diatoms lack flagella or cilia, but they float passively on water surface. That is correct. So which one is incorrect? Answer is 1. A is incorrect and C is incorrect. So that is why A and C only not correct. Answer is your 1. Very good. Next. Consider the following statement about mycoplasma. So if you see from here, only this third statement is incorrect. They cannot survive without oxygen. This is wrong. They can definitely survive without oxygen. So here you were asked to identify the correct statement. So you have to omit the third. So if you see the option 1, 2, 3, 3 is there, 2, 3, again 3 is there. So third, 1, 2 and 4, answer should be 3. So it was very easy to odd one out. Okay, next. Very simple. The first image is of dinoflagellate and the next one is of slime mold. So answer is 4. Next question. Very simple and interesting. Statement 1. In vascular plants, sporophyte is main dominant free living plant body. Absolutely correct. Then the second statement says, my lovely kids, sporophyte is differentiated into roots, into stems and leaves in vascular plant. Absolutely correct. So if you see over here, answer is 1. Both statement 1 and statement 2 are correct. Answer is 1. Next. The predominant stage of life cycle of moss is the gametophyte, which consists of 2 stages. So what should be your answer? The primary stage is the protonema and the secondary stage is the leafy gametophyte stage. Answer is 3. Very simple. Next question. Identify the correct statement and then choose accordingly. If you see over here, bacha, replication initiates randomly at any place in DNA. This is not correct. You are supposed to choose the correct one. So B is your incorrect one. So if you see over here, which one is your answer? So answer is 3. A, C and D. Why? Because it is not including your B. So again, easily you could have got your answer within fraction of second. Even such lengthy questions you can solve very quickly through elimination method. Answer is 3, A, C and D. So you had to eliminate the B option. Next, or B statement rather I should say. Select the incorrect statement from the following. Very simple. Biofertilizers are chemical compounds. No. Biofertilizers you have already studied in your classes. They are living organisms, right? So they are not chemical compounds. So biofertilizers are chemical compounds that enrich the nutrient quality of soil. This is the incorrect one. Biofertilizers are the organism that helps to naturally enrich the nutrient quality of the soil. Next. All the following are related to the secondary treatment of sewage except very simple, killing of pathogen using UV rays. This is not related to secondary treatment. Answer is 3, killing of pathogen using UV rays. Clear, my lovely kids? Yes. Excellent. Next. Okay. So predation, competition, commensalium, protocorporation. Very simple. Predation. Sparrow and seed. Predation ka example. Competition. Balanus and Cathamylus. Competition. Commensalism. Clownfishes and sea anemone. Protocorporation. Sea anemone and hermit crab. So the correct answer is 1, my lovely kids. Okay, very interesting, but you could have solved this question very quickly. See this. You are supposed to find out which of the following cannot be concluded. So which of the following is a wrong statement. So if you see the third statement, the trait is Y-linked. If the trait is Y-linked, then every male should have it. This male is having, this male is having, here also. But if you see this male is not having, so how can it transfer it to the son? So that is why the third statement is incorrect. This cannot be concluded. So answer is 3. So it was, if you see from outside, once if you see this question, you might feel it okay. It is going to take a lot of time, but that is not true. So it was tricky, but you could have easily got to the answer quickly if you can see or read out the option and try it. Okay, so always do not get confused or do not fear in such question. Always scan the options. 99% time you will be able to get your answer through elimination method. Next, RNA polymerase. It catalyzes the synthesis of primary transcript. Tailing of hnRNA. It is required for the addition of adenylate residue. This is what happened during tailing of hnRNA. Rho factor in prokaryotes, if you see. So rho factor is required for termination of transcription, and splicing is removal of introns and joining of exon. So simply what should be your answer? 2 should be your answer. Clear, my lovely kids? Come on everyone, participate. Next question. Select the incorrect statement. So see over here. The third statement, animal cells have centrioles and dictosome. So because of dictosome, this statement becomes incorrect. Answer is 3. So you were supposed to find out the incorrect statement. Answer is 3. Okay. So DNA synthesis occur in interphase of the cell cycle. Absolutely correct. But it says during G1 and G2 phases, the DNA content becomes double. No. What you have learned? You have learned that during S phase, the amount of DNA is going to double. So this is wrong. So what should be the right answer? Assertion statement is true, but reason statement is false, my lovely kids. So answer is 4. Assertion is true, but the reason is false. Why? Because DNA content doubles in S phase. Next question on your screen. Select the correct set of statements from the one given below. So if you see over here, this is again very simple. From your Cell the Unit of Life chapter, this question. Just focus on this statement, B statement. The cell envelope in bacteria is a tightly linked 5-layered. So that is how you know this one is incorrect. So out of these A, B, C, D, A is correct. Cytoplasm is the main arena of the cellular activities. Endomembrane system does not include semi-autonomous cell organelles, that means mitochondria and chloroplast. Concave phase of the Golgi body is the maturing phase. So correct here. So what is the correct answer? A is correct, C is correct, D is correct, 3 is the right answer. Correct, everyone? What you guys are typing in the chat box? Guys, try to answer in the chat box, not anything else, okay? It's your exam time. Let's focus. Metaphase, diplotin, diakinesis, crossing over. Very, very simple. Metaphase, structure of chromosome. You can study. Diplotin, X-shaped structures, chiasmata, okay? Diakinesis, terminalization of chiasmata. Crossing over will leads to exchange of genetic material. So what should be your right answer? 2 should be your right answer. Right, guys, everyone? Next. Okay, this was an interesting question. In a diploid cell, there are 14 chromosomes and the DNA content is 2C after M phase. Okay. What would be the amount of chromosome and the amount of number of chromosome and amount of DNA at G1, after S and at G2 phases respectively? The one very important concept that you must remember is number of chromosome. Number of chromosome will remain same in G1, S and G2. Because in S phase, only amount of DNA doubles. Number of chromosome remains same. And on this concept, repeatedly, we have seen questions coming in your NEET exam. So that is why if you see the first option, 14, 14, 14, chromosome number remains same. Even in the S phase, amount of DNA, I repeat myself, even in the S phase, amount of DNA doubles, but the number of chromosome remains same. So 14, 14, 14. So amount of DNA in G1, 2C, then it will double in S phase. So after S phase, 4C, even in the G2, 4C. So 1 is the right answer. Absolutely correct. Very good. Next. So this question looks quite lengthy, but it is very simple. Do not feel scared after seeing such type of questions which are lengthy, okay? So with increase in substrate concentration, the velocity of the enzymatic reaction rises at first and ultimately reaches a maximum velocity which does not exceed any further, even if the concentration of the substrate is increased, okay? Usually enzyme molecules are more than the substrate. Read this. Usually enzyme molecules are more than the substrate molecule, and after saturation of the substrate molecule, there is no free substrate molecules to bind with the additional enzyme molecule. So this statement is not sounding right, and generally the enzyme, number of enzyme molecules are lesser in comparison to the substrate. So that is why this is incorrect, okay? So usually enzyme molecules are more than the substrate itself. The first line of the reason statement itself is wrong. What it should be, usually the substrate molecules are more than that of the enzyme, and that's how the saturation point works. So A statement over here, my lovely kid, is true, but the reason is false. I repeat myself, here the assertion statement is correct, it is true, but the reason is false. And why it is false, even that I have explained. Answer is 3. Next question. So if you see over here, in plant growth, the role of PGR is one of the kind of extrinsic control. No, it is within the inside, plant cell, plant body. So it is intrinsic, it is not extrinsic. So incorrect. With genomic control and extrinsic factors, PGR play an important role in plant growth and development. This is correct. So if you see, statement 1 is incorrect, but statement 2 is correct. So 4 is your answer. Statement 1 is incorrect, but statement 2 is correct. Chalo, let's see. Next, my lovely kids. Enzymes are biocatalysts that catalyze reactions at very high rate compared to chemical catalysts. A few statements about enzymes. Not every enzyme is proteinaceous in nature, right? Some nucleic acids are also enzymes. The first is also explained in the second, correct. The active site of the enzyme is specific to the substrate, right? Enzyme catalyzes only irreversible reaction. No, beta, this is not right. So that is why we will go for 1, 2 and 3 only. Answer is 1. 1, 2 and 3 only are correct. Right, my lovely kids? Come on, everyone. Excellent. Let me also know in the chat box what was your total score in botany as well as the total score in your GT exam, this Grand Test paper exam. Come on, everyone. Let me know your botany score as well as let me know your total score. Feel free to share. Okay, this is an interesting question. You were supposed to find out the correct match. You were supposed to find out the correct match. So see over here. Auxin, parthenocarpy, correct. Very good, Vrishti, 160. Satyam, 570, good. Everyone present in this class, if you have given this grand test, let me know your scores. 180, very good, Navya, excellent. Gibberellins, bolting, correct. Cytokinin, promotion of nutrient mobilization, correct. ABA, closure of stomata. So second option is absolutely correct. Very good. Answer is 2. Study the following statements. If you see the statements, all the statements were correct. O2 helps in release of metabolic energy essential for growth activities. Nutrients are required by plants for the synthesis of protoplasm as well as act as source of energy. Optimum temperature for plant growth is needed, correct. Environmental signals for light and gravity affects certain phases of growth. So all are very simple. They are from your plant growth and development chapter. Very, very simple. Conditions for growth, that topic. Answer is 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. All are correct. Cytokinin helps in delay of leaf senescence by promoting nutrient mobilization. Answer is 3. Very good. Excellent. Good, Lakshmi. 175, Priya. Very good. Next. Light is necessary in photosynthesis for plants for reduction of carbon dioxide to produce glucose. Answer is 3. Come on, everyone. Very good. Answer is 3. So light is necessary in the photosynthesis of plants for reduction of carbon dioxide to produce glucose. Which of the following respiratory reactions occur in cytoplasm of the eukaryotic cell? So basically it is talking about the glycolysis wala reactions. So the first one is from glycolysis. Peptopyruvate, this is also glycolysis. Fructose 1,6 biphosphate to DHAP and 3G PGL, that is also glycolysis reaction. So A, D and E. A, D and E, 2, right? 2 is the right answer. A, D and E only. 2 is the right answer. Come on, again, an interesting assertion reason based question. Come on guys, everyone, try this. Immediately after light becomes unavailable, the biosynthesis process continues for some time and then it stops. The biosynthetic phase of photosynthesis does not directly depend on, biosynthetic phase means dark reactions, of photosynthesis does not directly depend on light, but is dependent on the products of light reaction. So even when there is no light, so let's say right now the light is switched off, okay, no availability right now at this point. So still the biosynthetic phase, if we talk about a dark reaction, will continue until and unless all the products of light reactions are consumed. Now the moment there are no products synthesized, because there is no light, no products of light reactions are getting synthesized, hence the dark reaction will also stop. So absolutely correct both the statement, and the reason is also correctly explaining the assertion. Immediately after light becomes unavailable, the biosynthetic phase, that means dark reaction, continues for some time until the products of light reaction are available. And the moment they all are consumed, since no new are getting synthesized, no new products of light reactions are getting synthesized because there is no light now. So then the biosynthetic phase, even the dark reaction will stop. Very good question. Answer is 1, both A and R are true, and R, that means reason, is the correct explanation of assertion. Excellent. Carotenoids. Carotenoids, yes, it protects the chlorophyll from photooxidation. Absolutely correct. Enable a wider range of wavelength of incoming light. Absolutely correct. To be utilized for photosynthesis. They are used for synthesis of hormone ABA. That is also correct. So answer is 4, A, B and C. Come on everyone. Next. Read the following statement from A to D. Very good, related to factors affecting photosynthesis. There is a linear relationship between light and CO2 fixation rate at low light intensity, but at high light intensity it is not correct. Current availability of CO2 is limiting to C3 plants because they show CO2 saturation at 360. No, that is wrong. So B is wrong. Can we answer through elimination? So here there is B, here there is B. So which of the following statement are correct? So 2 are already gone. Light reactions of photosynthesis are less affected by temperature compared to the dark reaction, because dark reactions are actually more enzymatic in comparison to light reaction. Hence, so more enzymes are involved in dark reaction as compared to light reaction. Hence, we can say light reaction of photosynthesis are less affected by temperature as compared to dark reaction. As a factor, water mainly shows an indirect effect on photosynthesis. So that is also correct. So all are correct except B. So that is why B is eliminated, and the one, only A, C and D are correct. 1 is the right answer. Very good. Next. Find out the correct match. It was a very interesting and tricky question, guys. So here if you see, only second statement is matching properly. Primary CO2 fixation product during C3 cycle. So you were supposed to focus on only C3 cycle, whether you're talking about C3 plant or C4 plant. So primary product of CO2 fixation during C3 cycle, even in C3 plant PGA, even in C4 plant PGA. So only 2 is the right answer. Only 2 is the right answer. Next. Which of the following statement regarding C3 plant is or are correct? So if you see, they have better efficiency than C4. No. They exhibit photorespiration. Yes. They do not have PGA as the primary CO2 fixation product. No. Maize is an example of C3. No. So only B you can say is correct. So only B is correct. Answer is 4. Only B is correct. Yes guys, come on everyone. Let me know if there are any doubts. Okay, great. Next, the formula, very simple. So this formula belongs to colchicum and asparagus. 3, very simple. From just the floral formula, you were supposed to identify the example. This is one of the most easiest way to ask questions related to plant families. 3 is the right answer, colchicum and asparagus. So now this, the main function, bacha, this is your collenchyma and the main function is mechanical support to the growing parts of the plant. Very good. Next question. Okay, so here if you see the A graph and B graph you are supposed to find out. So see over here, the curve A, this one, is seen when the resources are not limiting, that means unlimited, correct. For B, the curve B is seen when resources are limiting, that is also correct, that's shape 1. Now K minus N divided by K is the carrying capacity, this is wrong, K itself is the carrying capacity. Statement 1 is correct and 2 is correct, so only 1 and 2, answer is 1 and 2 only. Clear? Very good. Most of you are giving the right answer. In papaya, when male and female flowers are present on different plant, it permits only xenogamy. Answer is 4. It permits only xenogamy. Identify the incorrect statement with respect to microbodies. Very simple. The incorrect statement with respect to microbodies is they possess their own DNA. This is incorrect. Answer is 4. All are inclusion bodies that are found in prokaryotic cell except ribosome. This ribosome you don't consider under inclusion bodies. Answer is 4, ribosome. Very, very simple. From your first chapter of grade 12, sexual reproduction in flowering plants. The one A over here is epidermis, the B over here is middle layers, the C over here is microspore mother cell, and the D, this one, the D over here is tapetum. Answer is 4. Very good. Which one of the following statement is correct? So see over here, a proteinaceous aileron layer is present in maize grain. This is absolutely correct. Answer is 3. A proteinaceous aileron layer is present in maize grain. Answer is 3 is the correct statement. Now, match. Very interesting match. Try this out, guys, everyone. Hypodermis in dicot stem. So, hypodermis in dicot stem will be collenchymatous. A should be 3. So, here only through odd one out you could have got your answer. In A, if you see, only third one is having 3. Okay. Then pericycle in the dicot stem, my dear students, sclerenchymatous. Ground tissue in monocot stem, the parenchymatous it is, and phloem parenchyma in monocot stem it will be absent. So D is 1. So answer is 3. Very simple. Answer is 3. Mark the correct match. So Klinefelter syndrome 44 plus double XY is the right answer over here. In incomplete dominance, the F1 phenotype is intermediate between the two parental phenotype. That's how you define incomplete dominance. Answer is 3. So these were my lovely kids, the 45 questions from your today's grand test paper from botany section. I hope you all have enjoyed this session so far with me. Now we are going to discuss the zoology question. That's all from botany. Bye-bye. We're going to meet tomorrow again, same time.
Hello, a very good evening everyone. This is Dr. Priyanka Day and now we are going to discuss the zoology question. I hope everyone is ready for it. So, sabhi taiyar hai? Are you all ready for it? So, let's see what is the first question of zoology, right? So, this is a question from structural organization in animals, okay, and this is related to neurons. So, let's discuss it. And let me know what is the correct answer for this one. Okay, good evening everyone. So unipolar neuron we know are present in the embryonic state. Multipolar neurons you will get in cerebral cortex, bipolar in the retina of eyes, and apolar you will get in the hydra, isn't it? So correct answer for this question should be 2, right? Now let's move on to our next question. Let's see, remember that bipolar is always asked in NEET examination. Got it? Next question, let's see. Now we need to find out the correct statements, right? How many statements are correct? Let's discuss this. Let me know the answer in the chat box. Cortisol is involved in maintaining the cardiovascular system as well as kidney function, correct. Aldosterone help in the maintenance of electrolyte, body fluid volume, osmotic pressure, blood pressure, absolutely. Insulin is a peptide hormone that play a major role in the regulation of glucose homeostasis, correct. The CNS is divided into two divisions called the somatic neural system and the autonomic neural system, right. The autonomic neural system is classified into the sympathetic neural system and the parasympathetic neural system. So how many statements are correct? 4 statements are correct out of these 5. Yes? So correct answer is 4. Select the correct statement now. So pay attention. Glucocorticoids stimulate gluconeogenesis, lipolysis and proteolysis. Gluconeogenesis is formation of glucose from non-carbohydrate source, and this is true. Lipolysis, proteolysis, breakdown of lipid and protein, that is right. Endocrine pancreas consists of islets of Langerhans, absolutely correct. The juxtaglomerular cell of the kidney produce catecholamines, not at all. Catecholamines are produced by adrenal medulla, am I right? Several non-endocrine tissues secrete hormone called growth factors. So we need to find out the correct statement here. A, B and D are correct. So answer should be 3. Yes? So correct answer is 3. Be careful, the questions are not that easy. Okay? Next question, name the hormone A. So this is an image from NCERT, from Chemical Coordination and Integration chapter. And here you can see the hormone A is binding to the receptor present on the cell membrane. Okay, so proteinaceous and amino acid derivative hormones will be binding to the receptor on membrane. So here it could not be testosterone or iodothyronins or progesterone. So this is a peptide hormone, that is FSH. So correct answer should be 1, right? Next question. Read the following statement from A to D and we need to find out the correct statement. All the 4 chambers of heart are in relaxed state at the time of joint diastole, that's true. The tricuspid and bicuspid valves are open, this is right. The semilunar valves are open, no, that is closed. Blood from the pulmonary vein and vena cava flow into the left and right ventricle respectively through the left and right atria, this is also true. Okay, so how many of the above statements are correct? A, B and D should be correct, that means 3, and 3 is here option 2. Yes, so option 2 will be the answer, pay attention, right? Next, consider the following 4 statements and we need to find out the correct statements. So first one, the right end of polysaccharide is called reducing. Yes, so in a polysaccharide chain, the right end is reducing and the left end is non-reducing because the right end is free. Okay, so this is right. Starch can hold iodine molecule in its helical structure, whereas cellulose cannot. This is also true. Palmitic acid has 16 carbon atoms excluding the carboxyl. It should be including. So this is wrong. Ricin is included in toxin category. Yes, it is toxin. It is a secondary metabolite. So how many are true? 1, 2 and 4 are true. Correct answer is 1. Yes? Okay. Next question. Acetabulum cavity. So acetabulum cavity you get in the pelvic girdle. Glenoid cavity in the pectoral girdle. Carpals. Carpals are 8 in each arm. So there will be 16 carpals in total. Tarsals are 7. So in total it will be 14. So correct answer for this question is 1. Perfect, perfect. Everyone is giving correct answer. Anjali, Vrishti, Tanu, perfectly great. Pooja, very nice. Keep it up. Next question. Kavya, So given below are two statements, right? Each rib is a thin flat bone connected dorsally to the sternum. No, dorsally it will be vertebral column and ventrally it will be sternum. So this is wrong. Statement 2 says ribs have two articulation surface on their dorsal end and are hence called bicephalic. Absolutely correct, right? Bicephalic means having two heads, and these two heads are present dorsally in the ribs. So in our body, ribs are bicephalic bones. So this is correct. So statement 1 is incorrect, 2 is correct. Answer should be 2. Yes, very good. Next, try this one. Now, which one out of A to D given below correctly represent the structural formula of alkaline amino acid? So here remember, if there are two amino groups in an amino acid, then it will be alkaline. So we will be looking for two amino groups in these structures. Easy to solve. So here we have just one, here we have one, here we have one, but here we have two. So this will be the alkaline amino acid. Okay, so answer should be D, which is 2 here. Got it? So correct answer is D or 2. Next, wings of butterfly and wings of bird look alike, but they are not anatomically similar. So if there is a different structure but same function, then it is a type of analogous organ, right? So they share common ancestor? No. They have biochemical similarity? No. Different structures evolved for the same function, this is right, and they are the result of divergent evolution? No. So correct answer here should be 3. Yes, so I think most of you have given correct answer. There are certain students who are giving wrong answers, but please make sure that you note down all your mistakes so that you don't repeat the mistake in NEET exam, right? Coming to the point. Statement A says sugar glider and bandicoots illustrate adaptive radiation, and the most successful story in the evolution of man with language skill and self-consciousness. Both the statements are correct. So correct answer should be 1. Okay. Next. Statement A says agranulocytes such as neutrophils. So students, neutrophils are granulocytes, right? So this is wrong. B says natural killer cells are type of lymphocytes. That is right. So statement A is wrong, but only statement B is correct. So answer is 4. Okay? Understood? So answer should be 4. Let's move on to our next question. Select the option that correctly represent A, B and C in the following figure. So A, B and C we need to find out, and we already know that C is the structure of cholesterol, right? So here we have two options for cholesterol. So remember, this has less number of carbon atoms than this. So basically the answer should be ribose, glucose and cholesterol. So answer is 3. Okay, very easy to solve this. Coming to the next question. Alpha interferon is a biological response modifier that activates the immune system of cancer patient and destroy the tumor. So the question is, interferon contribute to which category of innate immune barrier? So interferons are type of cytokine barriers. Yes or no? So correct answer, that's why will be 3. A very direct question. Lot of statement is there just to waste your time. So you need to be quick. Yes, Chaitan, Rabish, Vrishti, Zarya, Kavya. Yes, so correct option is 3. Next. So very good question. We need to match this list 1 with list 2. Ready? Tell me the answer. So platypus is oviparous mammal, Bangaros is crate, Hyla is tree frog, Exocetus is flying fish. So correct answer for this question should be 2. Okay? Most of you like match the following type of questions, isn't it? Yes, Aizen, it's 2. Next. Read the following statement and choose the option correctly represents true and false. From biotechnology. Traditional hybridization procedures used in plant and animal very often lead to inclusion and multiplication of undesirable gene along with the desirable gene. So we cannot control the characteristics. Both the desirable and undesirable gene will be coming in case of traditional hybridization. Biotechnology allows the inclusion of only desirable gene. Yes, we can choose the genes and the characteristics. So this is true. Bioprocess engineering involved the maintenance of a microbial contamination-free ambience. In chemical engineering process, yes, we do that. We don't want the growth of undesirable cells, right? We want only the selected ones. So this is true. An alien piece of DNA is linked with the origin of replication so that it can make multiple identical copies of the linked DNA. So all are correct. So correct answer for this question will be 2. Next. Very good question. I just want you guys to pay attention and tell me the answer here. Yes, Satyanarayana, Vrishti, Laya, Anjali, Arhan, let's see. The first transgenic cow, Rosie, produced human protein enriched milk in the year Q. So what is this year? If anybody could tell me. It is 1997. Yes or no? Okay, so production of a recombinant form of human insulin was not done in the same year. First gene therapy was given in 1990. An American company got patent rights on basmati rice via US Patent and Trademark Office. Absolutely. So this will be the answer, and both the years are mentioned in your NCERT. Yes. An enzyme responsible for restricting the growth was isolated? No. So correct answer here will be 3. Okay, a very good question. Next. DNA cannot pass through the cell membrane. Yes. The given characteristic is due to the presence of dash in DNA. So we know that our membrane of cell is hydrophobic, right? Lipid based. Okay. But the DNA is hydrophilic, right? So that's why DNA cannot enter directly into the cell membrane. So correct answer should be 1. Yes or no? Tell me in the chat box. Come on, fast. Yeah. So how many of the following is or are required for PCR? Polymerase chain reaction. So Taq polymerase we need. This we don't need. Primers we need. Gene of interest definitely we need for multiplication. Restriction exonuclease we don't need. So we need 1, 2, 3. Okay, so correct answer should be 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Next. So here we have some labelings like A, B, C, D. Let's quickly jump to the options. C is pleura, not at all, right? D is diaphragm, yes. Causes expiration by undergoing contraction. So at the time of contraction, our diaphragm becomes flattened and it leads to inspiration and not expiration. Yes? So this is wrong. A is trachea, yes. Divide at the level of 5th thoracic vertebra. Favorite question of NEET? Definitely it is right. B is alveoli, actual site of gas exchange between the air and the blood. Okay. So basically remember that B is not at all alveoli according to the labelings given here. So we got our answer. It should be 3. Yes, perfect. So it's 3 and not 2, everyone. Next. Some strains of Bacillus thuringiensis produce protein that kills certain insects. So these are certain names and examples of insects like Lepidopterans are beetles. No. Coleopterans are not armyworm. Coleopterans are not tobacco bedworm, but Lepidopterans are armyworm. So correct answer is 4 and given in NCERT. Yes. So correct answer should be 4. Next question, let's see. DNA fragment are resolved based on their size in agarose gel electrophoresis through sieving effect. The movement of DNA fragment is based on the property of negative charge on. So we know that our DNA are negatively charged, but this negative charge is due to phosphate moieties. So answer here should be 3. Yes? So let's move on to our next question, and here we want the incorrect statement. Okay? So like I always tell you, please pay attention to the correct, incorrect, true and false terms given in the question. Right? Heart attack occur when the heart muscle is suddenly damaged by an inadequate blood supply. Yes, it is true. Angina occur in middle-aged and elderly man but not in women. This is not true. A consistent blood pressure reading 140 to 90 millimeter mercury or above indicate hypertension. Yes, this is the range. So this is true. In atherosclerosis, the lumen of arteries become narrower. Yes, because of deposition of plaque. So incorrect one here should be 2. Yes, very good. Keep it up. Next. Identify A, B, C from the following representation of urine formation. Okay. Now, anything going inside the tubule is secretion. Anything coming out of the tubule is reabsorption. So, here you can see B should be reabsorption, A is secretion, C is filtration. So, B reabsorption. Okay. B reabsorption. We have just one option here. Yes or no? So, correct answer here should be 1. Okay. Next. How many statements is or are false about kidneys? Again, let's mark this false. Kidneys are situated between the level of the last thoracic and the third cervical. No, cervical vertebrae are in the neck. So, it should be last thoracic and third lumbar vertebra. Yes or no? So, it should be third lumbar vertebra and not cervical vertebra. The cortex is subdivided into renal pyramids. No, pyramids are part of renal medulla. Each kidney has nearly 1 million tubular structures called nephron. This is correct. Kidney covered with the renal capsule. Correct. How many wrong? 2. Correct answer should be 2. Yes. So it's not 1, it's 2. Next. Assertion here says, a patient of diabetes mellitus exhibit glycosuria. Yes, it is glucose in urine. That is correct. Insulin is the hormone responsible for lowering blood glucose level, and its secretion is reduced in the condition of diabetes mellitus. That's why we are getting glucose in the urine. So assertion is true, reason is true, and even the correct explanation of assertion. So answer should be 1. Okay. Next. So here we need to match the type of excretion with the examples. So we have here a monotelic organism. So a monotelic, okay, here will be aquatic vertebrate. So A is matched with 1. We have just one option here. Let's see. Ureotelic will be amphibians and mammals. So B is 4 and 5. Yes, we got the answer. Uricotelic will be reptiles and birds. That means C is 2 and 3. So we got our answer. It should be 3. Okay. So simplest question ever. Let's proceed. Consider the following 4 statements and we need only the correct one. A single spermatheca is found which open into the genital chamber. So this is correct. On an average, female produce 9 to 10 ootheca, each containing 14 to 16 eggs for cockroach. This is correct. A characteristic mushroom-shaped gland is present in female cockroach. No, it will be in males. Nymph undergoes metamorphosis and changes into an adult. So this is true. So here they are saying a single spermatheca is found. Okay, so it will be present in pairs. Right, so we have B and D as the correct statement. Okay, so answer should be 3. Okay, so answer should be 3 students. Please pay attention because this is wrong. It is written single. Okay, so spermatheca, though present in female, it will be helping in you can say storage of sperm after it is received from the male cockroach after copulation. Okay, so answer should be 3. Okay, let's see. So we have a diagram here and the labeling A, B, C, D, and we need to find out the correct statement. A is the liver which secrete bile juice. This is right, and we need to find out here the incorrect statement. B is the intestine. This is true, and its length is less because they are carnivorous. Yes. C is the urinary bladder which opens into the cloaca. This is right. D is the kidney. So D is not kidney. This is kidney, na? Okay. So what is wrong and incorrect is 4. Okay. So it's not 2 rubbish. It's 4. Everyone. Anjali. Okay. Next. So again we have one assertion and reason question here. Let's discuss this. Assertion says, in severe cases of pneumonia, the lips and the fingernails may turn grey to bluish in color. This is right. In pneumonia, the alveoli gets filled with fluid leading to severe problems in respiration. That's why the color turns blue and grey because of lack of oxygen. So this is also true. This is also true. Right? And even the correct explanation of assertion. So correct answer will be 1 or A. Yes, so it's 1. Next. So statement 1 says, adolescence is the period between 12 to 18 years of age. That's correct. Adolescence is a vulnerable phase of mental and psychological development of an individual. Absolutely. Lines from Human Health and Disease chapter. Both the statements are correct. So answer should be again 1. Yes. Yeah. So I will tell you how reason is explaining. So bacha, if you ask yourself, in severe cases of pneumonia, the lips and the fingernails may turn grey to bluish in color. You ask yourself why? This is why, because the alveoli are filled with fluid. Okay, not enough oxygen is being exchanged and not enough oxygen are reaching the extremities of our body, are not reaching to the lips and the fingernails, and that's why they are turning grey and bluish. So that's why it is even the correct explanation of assertion. Okay, so please keep this in mind. Okay, and this is how you need to solve assertion and reason questions. Next, how many of the following are example of secondary lymphoid organ? So primary lymphoid organs we know are only 2, bone marrow and thymus, right? So bone marrow and thymus, if you remove, others are secondary only. So spleen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 will be the answer. That means 2. Yes? Yeah. So answer is 2. Next question. Some important event in the human female reproductive cycle are given below. Arrange it in proper sequence. Secretion of FSH, growth of corpus luteum, growth of follicle, and sudden increase in level of LH. So I will go first with secretion of FSH, A. Okay, so I will eliminate 2 and 3. After FSH, growth of follicle will come. So after A, it should be C, right? So we got our answer, but still we will proceed. Okay, after growth of follicle, right, there will be sudden increase in the level of LH, then only ovulation will take place. So there should be E and then D and then corpus luteum is formed. So then comes B. So answer we got, it is 4. Yes? Next, read the following statement and choose the correct option. Statement A says, all movement are locomotion. No. All locomotion will be movement. So this is wrong. All striated muscles are voluntary. What about cardiac muscles? They are striated but involuntary. So this is wrong. Both are wrong. So answer is 4. Yes, answer is 4. Next. Assertion says, All the members placed in the phyla Ascalmints are called pseudocoelomate. Yes. Why? Let's see. In Ascalmints, the mesoderm is present in scattered pouches in between ectoderm and endoderm, and the body cavity is not lined by mesoderm. This is also true. So here also assertion is true, reason is true, and reason is the correct explanation of assertion. Okay, and that's why the correct answer will be 2. So can you see here the sequence of the options are changed. So answer should be 2 and not 1. Don't do 1 in a hurry. Don't do 1 in a hurry, Himanshu. It should be 2. Okay. Next. Statement 1 says agarose gel electrophoresis is employed to check the progression of restriction enzyme digestion. Yes. Okay, we need to separate the fragments of DNA. So that's why we are doing gel electrophoresis. Statement 2 says DNA is a positively charged molecule. No, DNAs are negatively charged molecules. So this is wrong. So 1 is correct but 2 is incorrect. Correct answer should be 4. Next. The opinion of at least how many registered medical practitioner is required for MTP if it is more than 20 weeks. So answer should be 2. Okay. Now I hope this is clear. 2 is required. Next. Tertiary follicle is always characterized by presence of antrum. Yes or no? So we will directly match tertiary follicle with antrum, right? Graafian follicle ruptures to release secondary oocyte or ovum as mentioned here. So we will match it with 1. Secondary follicle. Okay. Now we have 2 options. Secondary follicle, a new theca is formed surrounding it. Yes, C is matched with 4. And primary follicle, the primary oocyte is surrounded by a layer of granulosa cell. So we got our answer. It should be 2. Simple. Yes, tell me doubt. Which doubt you can tell me, bacha, I will solve. Okay. Based on evolutionary history, choose the correct order. So we have sauropsids, pelycosaurs, synapsids and sauropsids. Okay, so sauropsids are not changing into synapsids. We know this. Okay, so answer should be 3 because synapsids will form pelycosaur and then therapsids and ultimately mammals. Okay, so very simple question, direct question. The answer should be 3 from the images of NCERT. Yes, you can ask your doubt. I will help you out. Okay, next. Statement 1 says evolution is a stochastic process. Stochastic means random. Okay, that cannot be predicted. So yes, evolution is a stochastic process, right? When more than one adaptive radiation appear to have occurred in an isolated geographical area, we call it as convergent evolution. Now for this question, you need to think a bit. Okay, so when we talk about convergent evolution, if you recall the adaptive radiation in the placental mammals and the adaptive radiation in the marsupials. Okay, so we call it as convergent evolution or parallel evolution. So definitely this is correct. Okay, so both the statements are correct here. So answer should be, both the statements A and B are correct. So answer is 4. Okay. Question number 173. Just a second. Yes, I will explain, bacha. So remember tertiary follicle, remember antrum first appears in tertiary follicle. So that's why we will match A with 2. Presence of antrum. Graafian follicle only ruptures to give ovum or secondary oocyte. So B is matched with 1. Now secondary follicle. So remember in secondary follicle more theca will be added. So that's why we will match it with 4. And primary follicle we will match with 3 because it is primary oocyte surrounded by granulosa cell. So it is 3. Okay. So now you got your answer. Correct answer is, that's why 2. Okay. Next question. Let's move. And here again you have a match the following type of good question. ICSI is intracytoplasmic sperm injection where? Okay. we inject sperm directly into the ovum, right? So we will match it with 3. IUI, intrauterine insemination, where semen is put or introduced into the vagina of female. Okay, so it should be intrauterine insemination. So here the semen is introduced into the uterus. Artificial introduction of semen in the uterus, right? IUT, intrauterine transfer, where an embryo more than 8 blastomere stage is introduced into the uterus. So IUT, okay, we will match with transfer of zygote or early embryo up to into the fallopian tube. No, it will be into the uterus. Okay, so we will match it with the 5, right? Now gift is gamete intrafallopian transfer, where gametes are introduced into the fallopian tube. Zift, zygote intrafallopian transfer, where zygote or embryo with 8 blastomere stage, up to 8 blastomere stage, is introduced into the fallopian tube. So I will match this Zift with 4. Okay, so now we got our answer. A is matched with 3, B is matched with 1. So 3 and 1, we have just one option like this, that is 4th one. Okay, so correct answer is 4th one. Okay, next. Which of the following is not a preventive measure against STI? Avoiding sex with unknown partner, using condom during coitus, avoid sex with multiple partner, and undergoing tubectomy will not help. So answer here is again 4. Next. If an adult human female took a drug that inhibit the release of LH, which of the following would not occur? LH is important for ovulation. If LH is inhibited, there will not be any ovulation. Okay, so release of ovum from mature follicle will not happen. So answer here should be 2. Next, read the following statement and see the correct answer. So in this diagram we have some labelings. A is vas deferens, B is bulbourethral gland, C is epididymis, and D is testis. Now A carries both urine and sperm. Vas deferens is not carrying both, only sperms. B secrete a fluid that help in lubrication of penis. Yes, B is bulbourethral gland. It will help in lubrication of penis. D produce testosterone but not sperm. No, it produce both. C stores sperm. Yes, epididymis stores sperm. So this is correct. 2 and 4 will be the answer. That means 3. Okay. Next, blood carries carbon dioxide in 3 forms. So maximum carbon dioxide is transported as bicarbonate ions, 70%, right? So it should be 70% here. As carbaminohemoglobin, 20 to 25%. This should be on your fingertips. And dissolved form in plasma, only 7%. Am I correct? So it should be 20 to 25, 70 and 7, that means 1. Okay, that means 1. Okay, so with this we have completed all the questions of zoology. I hope you have scored well, and even if you have made certain mistakes, I hope with this all the mistakes are clear. Okay, so next will be chemistry. Okay, so thank you very much everyone. Just wait for the chemistry teacher and then you can go for the chemistry paper solution.
Thank you, sir. हम लिखें, इससे वो होता है, आगे जाता है और पीछे आता है इससे। करूँ ऐसे? नहीं, इसका वो है क्या, इसमें वो कहाँ है, वो सॉल्व कहाँ करेंगे? थोड़ा तो स्पेस होना चाहिए ना, डायरेक्ट। ठीक है। कहाँ दिखेगा? यहाँ दिखेगा। A very good evening to all of you. So let's start with the physics. My name is Bhishma and I'm from IIT Mandi, and we'll be discussing physics paper. So let's start with the very first question, right? A constant volume gas thermometer shows pressure reading of 50 centimeter and 90 centimeter of mercury at 0 degree Celsius and 100 degree Celsius respectively. When the pressure reading is 60 centimeter of mercury, the temperature is. So basically this is based on the linear distribution of temperature on a scale, right? So let's plot it. So let's say this is 100 degree Celsius, this is 0 degree Celsius, and this is T, correct? And on the same pressure scale, we have the pressures. What are the pressures? Let us see. So at 0 degree it is 50 centimeter of Hg, and at 100 degree Celsius it is 90 centimeter of Hg, correct? And let's say the pressure at here is P, correct? So now we can use this direct relation. So basically T minus 0 divided by 100 minus 0, that should be equal to P minus 50 divided by 90 minus 50, correct? So they are asking you when the pressure reading is 60 centimeters. So this P value is given to you. This P value is 60. So you put 60 here. So let us see what we'll get. 60 minus 50 divided by 90 minus 50 divided by T upon 100. And you can see when you solve this, you will get T as 25 degree Celsius, right? Yeah. You can solve this, right? So this would be 10 divided by 40. So that would be 100 by 4, which is 25 degree Celsius, right? Let's move on to the next question, right? Am I audible to everybody? Or do I need to level up my voice? Fine. So let's go on to the next question. One mole of an ideal gas at an initial temperature of T kelvins does 6 joule of work adiabatically. So we are doing the work adiabatically. This is one thing. Work done is given to you. So let us write the information which is given to you. So one is that we have 1 mole of gas, correct? So we have 1 mole of gas, and the temperature is T, which is given T. Work done is given as 6 joules, correct? And it is given that it is we are doing the work adiabatically, right? Now let's move ahead. If the ratio of specific heat of this gas at constant pressure and constant volume is 5/3, so basically they are giving you the gamma, right? So gamma is basically 5/3, right? The final temperature of the gas will be, right? So we know the adiabatic equation, or you know the work done in work done. How do we calculate work done in adiabatic process? Work done is equal to NR delta T divided by 1 minus gamma, right? So this work done is given to you, which is 6R. That is equal to N, which is 1 mole, multiplied by R, multiplied by change in temperature. So final temperature, let's assume that the final temperature is T. So let's say this is T minus, what was the initial temperature? What did we have? So let's make it T1, and the initial temperature is given as T. So this is T basically, right? Divided by 1 minus gamma. What is gamma? Gamma is given as 5/3, right? So 1 minus 5/3, correct? Can you solve for T1 here? Right, it's pretty simple. So let us calculate T1. So T1 would be equal to, so this R cancels out from here, right? This is minus 2/3 basically. 1 minus 5/3 is minus 2/3, right? So this would be T, and then you will get minus 6 into 2 by 3. So basically it is T minus 4, right? So I think it should be T minus 4 here. So your answer is T minus 4, right? Understood? Let's move on to the next question. Third question. So what is the third question? Third question is that how many times a diatomic gas should be expanded adiabatically so as to reduce the root mean square velocity to half, right? This is what is given to us. So again, we'll focus on the terms. We have diatomic gas, adiabatic is the process, right? And we have the information about the root mean square velocity, or the VRMS, right? So if you know that VRMS is directly proportional to root of the absolute temperature, right? This is what we know already, right? And what we want to do, we want to reduce this velocity to half, right? So the final stage, it should be, the final velocity should be V by 2, and let's say the temperature is T2, correct? So what they are asking you to find, how many times a diatomic gas should be expanded adiabatically so as to reduce the root mean square velocity. So basically we can calculate the temperature, the final temperature we can calculate from here, right? So let us divide both of these equations. So what we will get? So we will get 2 is equal to root over T by T2. And if you square both sides, what you will get? You will get T2 is equal to T by 4, right? So we have got the relation of final temperature and the initial temperature, right? Now what we want to do, we want to calculate how many times it should be expanded, which means that basically you need to find what should be the final volume in terms of the initial volume, right? So that would be the number of times the gas should be expanded, right? So let us do that. So we know that for adiabatic process, TV to the power gamma minus 1, that is the equation, that is a constant, right? So basically what we will do, initial T1, V1 to the power gamma minus 1. So for a diatomic gas, what is gamma? For a diatomic gas, you know that gamma is 7 by 5, right? So I'll directly put the value 7 by 5 minus 1, that is equal to T2 into, again, the second volume, which is 7 by 5 minus 1. I mean, this you have to do it in brackets. So this is T1 is nothing but T here. So V1 to the power of 2 by 5, that is equal to T2. I can write T2 as T by 4. So T by 4, again that is V2 to the power 2 by 5, correct? So from here you can see that 4 is equal to V2 divided by V1 to the power of 2 by 5, right? Understood? So what will be V2 by V1? So V2 by V1 would be equal to 4 to the power of 5 by 2. Understood? So this is nothing but 2 to the power 5, which is 32. So basically you have to expand it 32 times. Understood? So your answer is, I think it should be 32, right? So it is 32, correct? Next. What is the next question? A beaker is completely filled with water at 4 degrees Celsius, right? The next is, it will overflow if. Understood? So this is a very straightforward question, right? We know that, for water, if you, lower down the temperature below 4 degrees Celsius until 0 degrees Celsius, it basically expands. Ideally it should contract, but it basically expands, right? Because of the anomalous behavior of water, right? And above 4 degrees Celsius, when you heat something, it generally expands, right? So basically above 4 also it will expand, and below also it will expand. So it is given that beaker is completely filled with water at 4 degrees Celsius, it will overflow. So when will it overflow? When it will expand. So whether you cool it or whether you basically, increase the temperature, in both the cases, it will basically overflow, right? Because of the expansion. So what we have is, your answer is 3. Both 1 and 2, right? Next. Which of the following circular rods, each of the same material and whose ends are maintained at the same temperature, will conduct the most? So basically they are asking you, what is the conductivity here, in which of these following cases, which has the most conductivity, right? again, so they have given what is the information that we have been given. So all the rods, they are basically having same R and same length, right? So all these options, they have same. So just a minute. So these are 4 rods which have different radius and different length, right? But they are of the same material, right? So K is same, right? K is same for them, and whose ends are maintained at the same temperature. So basically, if I make a rod like this, and let's say this temperature is T1 and this is T2, for all the 4 options you have to consider same T1 and T2, which means that the temperature difference delta T is same for all of them, right? Understood? If delta T is same, we know that, what do we know? We know that the rate of heat conduction, from conduction law you might know that rate of heat conduction is basically directly proportional to rate of change, the change of temperature divided by the thermal resistance, right? And what is thermal resistance? Thermal resistance is basically length divided by K into, which is thermal conductivity, into A. And now A, I can write it as pi r square, right? Which is nothing but the area of the cross section. Understood? So, without even solving, we can do this question. How? Without even, solving for each and every option, how can we do this? So we know that the rate of conduction would be maximum for a rod which has least, resistance, least thermal resistance. That comes from the same concept of analogy of electricity, right? So for least thermal resistance, what I should have? So if I want to have least RTH, what should I have? I should have minimum L, right? So the length should be minimum, right? And R should be maximum because it is in the denominator, right? So R should be maximum and L should be minimum. Now let us see in the options where this thing fits. R is maximum. So what options do we have in R? We have 2R0, R0, R0 and 2R0, which means that I want R as maximum, which means that it has to be 2R0. So either it has to be option 1 or it has to be option 4, right? But again, the second thing is that I want L as minimum. So in both of these options, where is L minimum? It is in this option, right? Which is L0, which means that the conductivity will be maximum in option 4. Is that very, very clear, right? Can we move on to the next question? Yes? Next. An ideal coil of 10 Henry is joined in series with a resistance of 5 ohm and a battery of 5 volt. Okay. So let us make try to make diagrams, in physics, because when you visualize physics, it is better to, solve questions, right? Just don't mug up formulas. Just try to visualize physics. So let's say we have a coil here, right? This is 10 Henry, right? And it is in series with a resistance of 5 ohms, right? Is that correct? Yeah. It is in series in the resistance of, with a resistance of 5 ohm and a battery of 5 volts. So let us connect a battery here. So we have 5 volts here, right? Now 2 seconds after joining, so they are asking that, after you join it, 2 seconds after you join, the current flowing in the circuit would be, right? So ideally, ideally how you should approach this question mathematically is by applying the loop law, right? So basically I'll give you the equation, how do we solve it, but I'll not properly, do the integration, but I'll tell you how it comes, right? So if I try to apply loop law here, I'll start from here and I'll try to come here, right? And then the final sum of all the potential has to be 0, right? So let's do it. So from here till here, if I go, my change in potential is 5 volts, correct? From here till here, I will have minus L di by dt, correct? And from here till here, I will have minus I into R. So 5I, that has to be equal to 0, correct? So now, basically this is 5 minus 5I is equal to L. L is nothing but 10 di by dt. So this is actually how you do it, right? This is the actual procedure of doing it. And you can see that, I can cancel this. This will come out to be 1 minus I is equal to 2 times of di by dt. And now what you do is basically you integrate both sides, right? And then you get a log term and you do it. But, there is a standard formula for doing this. And what is the formula? Whenever there is a charging in a LR circuit, you can remember this formula also. I is equal to I max, the maximum current which will come, 1 minus e to the power minus t R by L. So this is a direct formula which also you can use, and in multiple circuits whenever this comes and it is a charging circuit, you can use that, right? So maximum current, how do we calculate the maximum current? We calculate maximum current by basically considering inductor as a wire, right? So if I consider this inductor as a wire, what will I have? I will have a simple circuit with 5 ohm as the resistance and 5 volts as the battery, right? So that would be V by R, that is nothing but 1 amperes, right? So I max is nothing but 5 by 5, which is 1 amperes, correct? So now I'll apply this here. I is equal to I max, which is 1 minus e to the power minus t. What is the time they are asking at? 2 seconds. So minus 2 multiplied by R, what is R? R is 5 divided by L. L is 10. So you can see that this will cancel out and it will come out as minus 1, right? So basically I will come out as 1 minus e to the power minus 1. Understood? Right? Okay. So basically our answer is 1 minus e to the power minus 1. Correct? So that is how we will do this. But again, I don't expect you to do the integration and all, but you can remember this formula, right? Which will help you in all the other cases as well, right? Next. Question number 7th. A capacitor and an inductance coil are connected in separate AC circuits with a bulb glowing in both the circuits. So again, I'll try to make it. So we have a capacitor, right? And a bulb is there. So bulb is basically the resistance, right? So you can consider bulb as a resistance, right? And in another we have an inductor and we have again a bulb like this, right? Correct? Now what is there? Glowing in both the circuits. The bulb grows more brightly. When will the bulb glow more brightly? When you have more current in the circuit, right? So my question has been reduced now to finding in which of the cases I will have the most current, correct? Okay, so let's see. An iron rod is introduced into the inductance coil. So what will happen if I introduce an iron rod here? Basically inductance will increase, L will increase, and because of L, my XL, which is the inductive reactance, that will also increase, right? Which is basically increasing the overall resistance of the circuit. And when you increase the overall resistance of the circuit, what happens? I basically decreases. So I know for sure the first is not the option, right? What is the second? The number of turns in the inductance coil is increased. Again the same. When you increase the number of turns, the inductance increases. L basically increases, right? Because it is directly proportional to the number of turns. So L is increasing, which means that XL is increasing. And by the way, if you don't know, XL is nothing but omega into L in AC circuits, right? So basically XL is increasing. Again, if XL is increasing, the resistance of the circuit is increasing, which means that the current will decrease, right? Understood? The next, separation between the plate of the capacitor is increased. So we know that capacitance is given by A epsilon naught upon D. Understood? So you can see that separation between the plates is increased, which means that we are increasing the D, correct? We are increasing D here. So if we are increasing D here, what will happen? So if we are increasing D, the capacitance will decrease, right? Capacitance is decreasing, and if capacitance is decreasing, what will happen to Xc, which is the inductive reactance? Xc is basically 1 upon omega C, right? That is 1 upon omega C. So if C is decreasing, my Xc is increasing, which means that again I am increasing the resistance of the circuit, right? If I am increasing the resistance of the circuit, what will happen? The current will decrease, right? So again, we have not got to that point where current is increasing. Again, here the current is decreasing. Since we have eliminated all the third options, so answer should be 4. Let us see if it is there. A dielectric is introduced into the gap between the plates of the capacitor. Okay. So when you introduce a dielectric, what happens? The capacitance increases, right? So capacitance becomes K times of C, if you know, right? If where K is the dielectric constant, correct? So capacitance increases. Because of the increase in capacitance, again from the same formula, if the capacitance increases, my Xc will actually decrease. And since the resistance is decreasing, the current will increase, and what will happen? Current will decrease and basically the bulb will grow more brighter, right? Understood? Okay, I'll try to write bigger. This have you got? How are we getting it, right? Next. Okay. The next is very straightforward question, I think. If the magnetic field of a plane electromagnetic wave is given by B is equal to 100 into 10 to the power minus 6 sine of 2 pi into 2 into 10 to the power 15 t minus x by c, then the maximum electric field associated with it is, right? So this is a very straightforward question, right? So you know this relation, V into basically your B will give you the electric field, the maximum electric field, correct? So velocity of this wave is 3 into 10 to the power 8 multiplied by what is my B naught. What is B naught here? B naught is 100 into 10 to the power minus 6, which is the amplitude of the magnetic field. Understood? Yellow is confusing. How do I change the ink? Which one should I keep? Green is fine. Green is fine. Okay, let's see. So 3 into 10 to the power 8 multiplied by 100 into 10 to the power minus 6. That would be my E naught. So what do we have here? So I think it will come 3 into 10 to the power 4, right? So you can solve this. This will come out to be 3 into 10 to the power 4. Clear? Understood? Red. You want red? Okay. This is fine. Can we move ahead, right? Okay. Eight minus 6 is 2. Yeah, correct. 8 minus 6 is 2, but you have this 100 also here, right? Understood? So basically this is 10 square. Are you not able to do this? So this is 3 into 10 to the power 8, and this 100 is nothing but 10 square, right? And this is 10 to the power minus 6. Right? So 8 plus 2, 10 minus 6. That is 4. Right? Now you come to a consensus, which color should I use? I thought green is better. Somebody told me red. I think green is better because, you know, it will reflect more in a better way. This is better, I guess. Okay, red is not good, fine. I have taken light green now. I think that is better. Chalo, let's move to the next question. The network shown in the figure is a part of a complete circuit. If at a certain instant the current is 5 ampere, so let's see the current, which is 5 ampere, and decreasing at a rate of 10 to the power 3. So basically they are saying you that rate of change of current with time, that is decreasing, which is minus 10 to the power 3. Minus I have put because it is decreasing, right? So what about 2 into 10 to the power 15? Where 2 into 10 to the power 15? Beta, this andar wala figure is showing you the speed, that the speed is, this is a standard equation, right? When you have to calculate the maximum amplitude of electric field, we are taking the amplitude of the magnetic field, which is this thing, not the inside thing, right? So when you write this formula, E naught is equal to velocity into B naught. This B naught is the maximum of the magnetic field, right? Amplitude of the magnetic field, correct? And that is maximum amplitude of the electric field. Is that clear? Lucky, is it clear? Yes. Now, let's come here. The network shown in the figure is a part of a complete circuit. If at a certain instant the current is 5 amperes and decreasing at the rate of 10 to the power 3. So basically di by dt is minus 10 to the power 3 because it is decreasing, right? Then we have to calculate VB minus VA, right? So this is fairly simple. We start from one end and we move to the other end by adding all the potential differences, right? So let us start from here. So I'll write the potential of this point, which is VA, correct? Now this is 5 amperes And as I go across this resistance, what will be the potential difference? As I go, the potential will decrease, right? Because current flows from higher potential to lower potential. So I'll write minus I into R. So 1 into 5. This is the potential difference across 1 as I move ahead. Now when I move from here till here, what will happen? There is an increase in potential by how much? By 15 volts. So I will write plus 15. Correct? Understood? Then we have through the inductance, and through the inductance it is minus L di by dt. So minus L, what is L? 5 millihenry, right? L di by dt. What is di by dt? Minus 10 to the power 3, and finally it has to be equal to the potential at B. Correct? So we started from here, we ended there, right? Now let us calculate this. I think you can calculate it, how much it is coming. So VA minus 5 plus 15, and this is minus minus will be plus, so plus 5, that is equal to VB, correct? So you can see that VB minus VA is nothing but 15. Is it 15, right? Yeah. So it is 15. Fairly straightforward, right? Any doubt in this? Okay, most of you have got, I guess, right? 15, correct. Okay. Fine. So let's see this question. What is this question saying? So this question is basically, what I can guess is based on the Lorentz law, right? A particle having a mass of 10 to the power minus 2 kgs carries a charge of, how much is the charge? Charge is 5 into 10 power minus 8. The particle is given an initial horizontal velocity. So let us again first try to visualize this, So first let's try to visualize this question, what it is saying. It is saying that we have a particle. So we have a particle, let's say it is moving with this some velocity, right? Some velocity is given 10 to the power 5 meter per second. Since in the options they have not asked any calculation, so I am not writing the velocity, but this is the direction of velocity, right? Okay. In the presence of electric field and magnetic field. So there is electric field also here and magnetic field also here, right? Okay, we don't know where it is. To keep the particle moving in the same direction. So this particle should keep on moving in the same direction. So when will it keep on moving in the same direction? When there is no force in any other direction. Yes or no? So either the force has to be in this direction, or in all the other directions it has to be 0, right? So this is what the concept is. So now we are being told that to keep the particle moving in the same direction, the necessary possible condition may be. What should be the necessary condition for this particle to move in the same direction? Let us see. First is saying that B should be perpendicular to the direction of velocity, right? So if B is perpendicular to the direction of velocity, what will happen? We'll experience a force Q into V cross B, and that force would be perpendicular to the velocity, which means that the particle will start moving in the circle. You might have learned this in magnetism. So we don't want any force which is perpendicular to the velocity or at an angle to the velocity, right? So if in any case it is coming, it will not move along the same path, right? So first option is wrong. Okay, but just a minute. Electric field is also there. Before. Yeah. So B should be perpendicular to the velocity. Okay, fine. Let us see. So we will have a force which is in this direction. V cross B will be in this direction. Okay, fine. Let us also see where is the electric field. Electric field should be along the direction of velocity. Now this is wrong, right? Had electric field be in this direction, then I would have assumed, okay, fine, this force will cancel out with the force of the electric field and it could lead to a zero force. But here it is, but in the first option they are saying that electric field is in this direction, right? So which doesn't make sense. We'll have a force which is perpendicular to the velocity, so it will not move in the same direction. So first is wrong. Second, both B and E should be along the direction of velocity. Okay. So what will happen if B is also in this direction and E is also in this direction? So in this case, you can see that V cross B would be 0. So there would be no magnetic force here, but there would be electric force, right? And that electric force would be in this direction only because E is along the velocity. So the direction Q into E would be along the same velocity direction. which means that this could be correct, right? This is actually correct, right? It will move in the same line. Let's see these C options. So we are done with B, which means that this is not true, this is not true, okay? C, both B and E are mutually perpendicular and perpendicular to the direction of velocity, okay? So here they are saying that B and E are mutually perpendicular and they are perpendicular to the direction of velocity. So let us make this thing here. Let me make it here. So this is velocity. Let me make B perpendicular to this first. So let us say that this is B. If this is B, V cross B will come out. Something like this. This is the force, correct? Now they are saying that electric field is also perpendicular. So can there be a case where, you know, these two forces can cancel? The answer is yes. If I have a electric field in this direction, then what will happen? This V cross B will cancel out with, Q into V cross B will cancel out with Q into E, and there would be no net force on the particle, right? So in this case, it can happen that particle moves in the same line. Understood? Which means that we have third as the option, which is B and C. Clear? So we don't need to check D. Is this clear? Next question. An iron rod of length L and magnetic moment M, right, is bent in the form of a semicircle. Now its magnetic moment will be. So what is the concept? So we have a, let's say, a rod like this, right? So let's say the pole strength here is plus M, this is minus M. Oh, so sorry. Just a minute. Let's say this is minus M and let's say this length is L, right? So they are saying that the magnetic moment is capital M. What is magnetic moment? Magnetic moment is pole strength M into the length, which is L, right? This is a thing. So what is small m from here? Pole strength we can calculate, that is M by L, correct? Now they are saying that we are bending it into the form of a semicircle. So we are bending it into the form of a semicircle. Let's say the radius is R, correct? So again these ends will have same pole strength, which is plus M and minus M, because pole strength will not change, correct? So so this length is L, still it is L. So now what is the L in terms of R? So this is a semicircle, which means that pi R is equal to L. So from here R is equal to nothing but L by pi. This is my R, correct? Clear? Very simple. Now what is the magnetic moment in this case? I'll do it. Magnetic moment is equal to pole strength M into distance between the poles, that is 2R. So M into 2R, that is equal to small m into twice of R. What is R? R is L by pi here. So L by pi, right? R is L by pi. And what is small m? Small m is capital M by L, right? So we'll put small m as capital M by L into 2 into L by pi. LL cancels out. This comes out as 2m by pi. Correct? So the answer is 2m by pi. Is that clear? Next question. As shown in the figure, very thin sheet of aluminium is placed in between the plates of the condenser, then the capacity is. So again a very simple question. Let's say this distance is d, and if this distance is d, this is d by 2 and this is also d by 2, correct? And if, let's say, before inserting this this aluminium strip, let's say the capacitance was C. So C is nothing but A epsilon naught upon D, which is the distance between them. Now you can see that you can convert this whole thing into a simple series circuit like this, where we have two capacitors C1 and C2, right? Clear? And what is C1? C1 is nothing but A epsilon naught upon the distance between them, which is D by 2. So this is D by 2, which means that C1 is 2A epsilon naught upon D and C1 is twice of C. And the same value will come for C2 also, correct? Which means that this is 2C and this is 2C and they both are connected in series, right? And you know that when two same capacitors are connected in series, the net equivalent capacitance becomes half, right? So basically C equivalent here will become 2C by 2, which is C. Or you can apply that formula 1 by C is equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2. Again, you will get the same thing, right? So basically you can see that it is, unchanged even after this, right? So it is unchanged, correct? It is coming same as C only. Any doubts? Okay. Next question. The current in the given circuit is, again this is an application of loop law, right? Kirchhoff's loop law. So you consider a current here. Let's say the current is I. Now you move around the circle and make all the potential difference sum as 0, right? So let us start from here. So when I move from here till here, what is the increase in potential or whatever is the change in potential? That is 5. So that is 5. Then you come here. There is a decrease. How much it is? Minus 20I. I into R. Then you go from here till here. Again there is a decrease in potential because this is at lower potential. So minus 2. And then again you go here. Again there is a decrease in potential which is minus 10I. That has to be equal to 0. Yes? So you can see that from here 3 is equal to 30I and I would be equal to 0.1. I is equal to 0.1 amperes. Correct? I is equal to 0.1 amperes. Next question. A charge is situated, right? A charge is situated at a center distance from an electric dipole along its axis. So again, let us draw the diagram. So we have a charge which is situated from a dipole. Let's say this is my dipole. And it is situated at a distance r, correct? Along its axis, so it is along its axis, right? It experiences a force F. So why will it experience a force? Because there is an electric field due to this dipole. So there we have an electric field due to the dipole, and the force experienced by this charge would be the value of the charge multiplied by electric field, correct? And you know that electric field along the axis of a dipole is nothing but, what is electric field? Can anybody tell me? It is 2 kp by r cube, right? At a distance r from the dipole, where p is the dipole moment, right? So 2 kp by r cube is the electric field. So if I put this formula here, you can see that you will get 2 kp capital Q divided by r cube. Now what are they saying? Let us see. If the distance of the charge is doubled, so if r is doubled, so what I am saying that if r becomes 2r, the force acting on the charge will become what, right? This is what they are asking. So you can see that I am just changing r, not all of this numerator, which means that you can say that force is inversely proportional to r cube. So if you double the r, what will happen to the force? It will reduce by 8 times. Yes or no? Clear? Because if let's say this is F2 and if I am doubling the r, this is cube, right? This is cube, and you can take this ratio. So F by F2 is nothing but, you'll get 8 from here, right? So which means that force is nothing but F by 8. Correct? Understood? Because it is a cube part here. So you will have, the force will decrease by 8 times, right? Next. A charge plus Q is placed at the origin O, XY axis as shown in the figure. The work done in taking a charge from A to B is. Again, this question is based on how we will calculate the work done. Work done is nothing but change in potential energy, right? So you calculate the potential energy here, you calculate the potential energy here, and you take the difference. What is the potential energy at U? That is K. If this charge is, what is the charge here? Charge is plus Q, right? And so you are taking this capital Q charge. So K small q capital Q divided by A. K Q1 Q2 by R, that is my potential, right? Understood? Aluminium strip will not act. Somebody has asked why would aluminium strip not act as a dielectric? Because aluminium is a conductor, right? Dielectric is an insulator. Why would it act as a dielectric? Right? Let's move ahead. So UA is K small q capital Q upon A. What is UB? UB is this distance. What is this distance? This is B. This is A. So K small q capital Q by B. Now you take the difference. Very, very simple. UB minus UA. So you will get, I think, A minus B by AB. That should be 1, right? Clear? So you just have to take the difference. UB minus UA. Very simple. Clear? Let's move ahead. If E, epsilon naught and H, R and C respectively represent electronic charge, permittivity of free space, Planck's constant and the speed of light, then E square upon epsilon naught H into C is. So, very straightforward question, right? So, this is a very simple question. You have to basically write all the dimensions, right? What is the dimension of charge? A into T, right? That is the dimension of charge, right? 15th question is doubt. Yeah, tell me what is a doubt? You have to calculate the interaction energy here, and interaction energy or the potential energy is given by K Q1 Q2 divided by the distance of separation. This is my potential energy. Why not 2? Why B minus A? It is not B minus A, it is A minus B. It is A minus B. Why not B minus A? It is just the difference in 5th question. You have to try to do basic maths, right? UB minus UA we are doing, right? Final minus initial. So K small q capital Q by B minus K small q capital Q by A. Now you take this common, what will you get? A minus B you will get, right? Yes or no? A minus B you will get, na? Understood? Right. So let us see. A into T, that is this. What is the dimension of epsilon naught? M to the power minus 1. Yes, anybody can tell me the dimension of epsilon naught? M to the power minus 1, L to the power minus 3, T to the power 4, and I think it is A square, right? So this is my dimension of epsilon naught, right? What is the dimension for Planck's constant? So we have one more, right? H. So for Planck's constant we have M L square T to the power minus 1, right? That is my dimension for H, correct? ML square T to the power minus 1, right? Now what else do we have? We have C also, I guess. So what is C? C is L T to the power minus 1, right? Now you put it here, E square, you will get A square T square. Then you just put all of these and do the basic maths, right? Yes or no? Understood? Very, very simple. All things will cancel out and you will get a dimensionless figure, right? Clear? So you'll get angle as the answer, right? Because it has no dimension. Clear? Yes, all will cancel, correct. A is not the area, Renuka, A is not the area. A is basically, so we calculated from here. So current is basically Q by time. I am denoting A for current, right? It's not the area. A into T is Q, right? Cool? Understood? Next. The random error in the arithmetic mean of 100 observations is X. Then the random error in the arithmetic mean of 400 observation would be. So again a very simple question, right? Random error is inversely proportional to what? Random error is inversely proportional to number of the observations, right? So if initially the number of observations were 100, the random error was X. When the observations will become 400, you will have random error as X2, correct? So basically if you are increasing by 4 times, what will happen to the error? It will become lesser, right? So more the number of observations, lesser is the error, correct? So basically it will become x by 4. Clear? This is straightforward. I'm not spending much time here. Right? Next. Less error, more observations, correct. The displacement time graph is shown in the figure. Its corresponding velocity time graph would be. Okay. Again, you can do it very, very simply. Let us see how we can do this. So we know that velocity is nothing but rate of change of displacement, or from a displacement time graph, it is nothing but the slope of the observation, right? It is nothing but the slope of the, it is nothing but the slope of the displacement time graph. So let us see the options first and let us try to figure out how will we arrive at a same answer. So if I draw a tangent here, this will give me the velocity, right? So can we say that this graph is for a ball thrown? Correct, yes. You can say that. So initially you can say that this is the slope and this slope is positive, correct? So basically it is an angle which is less than 90, which means that tan theta is positive, which means that my slope is positive, which means that my velocity is positive. At this point, at the origin, my velocity has to be positive from the graph. In which of the case it is positive? Here it is 0, so this is wrong. Here it is negative, this is wrong. Here it is negative, this is wrong. Which means that only option is 1, because here at 0 the velocity is positive, right? Understood? Sir, if displacement is 0 at origin, Anjali is asking, sir, if displacement is 0 at origin, then velocity should also be 0 at origin. No, Anjali, velocity is not equal to s by t. It is not the absolute value of displacement upon absolute value of time. This is wrong. Velocity is rate of change of displacement by time. Rate could be there. Absolute velocity could be 0. Fine, I agree with you. Absolute displacement could be 0. I agree. But the rate need not to be 0, right? So velocity is rate of change of displacement and not the absolute value of displacement by absolute value of time, right? That's why it is not 0. Clear? We always calculate velocity by slope of the displacement time curve, correct? And just remember, for in general cases, if the displacement time graph is a parabola, the velocity is always linear, because when you differentiate that parabolic equation, the 2-degree equation, you get a single degree equation which has to be a straight line, right? So that is the case. Anyways, let's go to the next question. A projectile having the same range a projectile can have the same range r for 2 angles of projection. Okay, so we know that projectile can have same range for 2 angles and both have to be complementary. So one angle is theta, other has to be 90 minus theta. So for these two, sir, can you please increase volume of my voice? Okay, I am already shouting a lot. Cannot speak more louder than this. I'll try to do it, but okay, fine. A projectile can have the same range r for 2 angles, or what I'll do is I'll put this above. A projectile can have the same range r for 2 angles. So one is theta, another one is 90 minus theta, right? If t1 and t2 be the times of flight in the 2 cases, right? So what is the time of flight? Time is given by 2u sine theta by g, right? So if let's say I have a projectile, I am throwing it up with a velocity of u at an angle theta, then my time is given by 2u sine theta by g, correct? Now we have 2 angles, one is theta, another one is 90 minus theta. So what would be t2? T2 would be 2u sine of 90 minus theta by g. And what is sine of 90 minus theta? That is cos theta. So 2u cos theta by g. That is my t2, correct? Okay. Now they are saying that be the 2 times of flight in the 2 cases. Then what is the product of 2 times of flight? So you have to just multiply this and this. So t1 multiplied by t2, you can see that you just multiply both of them, you will get 4u square sine theta cos theta by g, correct? but they have not asked you the answer in terms of this sin theta and cos theta. They are asking you in terms of range. And we also know the formula for range. What is the formula for range? Range is 2u square sin theta cos theta by g. That is my range. Correct? Clear? So from here, I think you can see that it is directly proportional, right? If I do 2 times here, you will get the above formula, right? So here T1 and T2 is equal to 2R. Understood? So basically I think the answer should be, it should be directly proportional to R. Clear? Let's move ahead. When a train stops, the passenger moves forward due to. So very simple. So we have a train, right? And you have a passenger inside. When both are moving, what is happening? The passenger is in motion, and sir, for T1 and T2 in denominator, it is G2. Array, it's very simple. Can you calculate this relation? When you divide both of them, when you divide both of these equations, you will get 2. Can you see this? Right? Is that a problem? Yeah. Clear? When a train stops, the passenger moves forward due to. So both are moving, right? So basically, passenger has passenger has inertia of motion and train also has inertia of motion, right? But when train stops, but the passenger is still in motion, right? That's why, you know, the passenger falls forward. So passenger is falling forward due to inertia of himself or inertia of motion of the passenger, right? So it is due to the inertia of the passenger, which is nothing but inertia of motion for you know, his case, right? Understood? Next, a car of mass m is moving with the momentum p. If mu is the coefficient of friction between the tires and the road, what will be the stopping distance due to the friction? So we are running, so I'll be quick right now. So we have a car. So car is moving. This is the mass with some momentum p. Okay. If mu is the coefficient of friction, so we have a coefficient of friction here. So what will friction do? It will stop the car, right? And finally the car will stop. Right, so you have to calculate what is that stopping distance. Let's say that stopping distance is x, correct? Now here the velocity is 0. Here it has some velocity due to the momentum. Now what is the concept here? Concept is that due to the work done by the friction, due to the negative work done by the friction, the kinetic energy is decreasing, right? So basically what is the work done by friction? Mu mgx. This is a force of friction. This is a distance for which this force is acting. So mu mgx is the you know, work done by the friction, and change in kinetic energy. So kinetic energy is half mv square. If you write it in terms of you know, p, you will have p square by 2m. That is kinetic energy in terms of momentum. Now from here you can find x. Understood? Which is nothing but p square upon 2m square mu g, right? So that is p square upon 2m square mu g, correct? A body of mass 3 kg is under a constant force. So we have a body whose mass is 3 kgs. It is under a constant force, okay, which causes a displacement s. So we have a displacement s given by reaction relation. So we have s is equal to t square by 3, right? So from here you have to calculate first the acceleration by double differentiating it. So first ds by dt is 2t by 3. And then when you again differentiate, this is the velocity and acceleration is dv by dt, and when you again differentiate it, you will get 2 by 3. That is my acceleration, which is 2 by 3. And what is force? Force is nothing but mass into acceleration. So we have 3, which is mass, into acceleration, which is 3. So force is 2 newtons. Now you have to calculate the work done. So work done is nothing but work done by the force in 2 seconds. So what is the displacement in 2 seconds? Displacement is 2 square by 3, which is 4 by 3, correct? And your force would be, your work done would be force into displacement, which is 2 into 4 by 3, which is 8 by 3, correct? Understood? So from S you have to calculate first acceleration and then force. Force is mass into acceleration, and then you have to calculate the work done by F into X. Correct? Next. A rock explodes into 3 fragments. 2 of the fragments move at right angles to each other. So one, let's say this is the one fragment, this is another fragment, and some another fragment. This is the third, this is first, this is second, this is third. It will move at some angle. So it will have these 2 directions. Let's say this is X, this is Y. So what is the concept here? The concept is that momentum will be conserved in all directions, right? Momentum in X direction would be constant, conserved, right? And momentum in Y direction would also be conserved. Correct? So now you do it. What is the mass of first particle? Move at right angles. Let me see. Mass is 1 kg. So this is 1 kg. And the other, it's moving with a velocity of 12, I guess. While the second has a mass of 2 kg. This is 2 kg and it is moving with a velocity of 8. Right? So let's say this is X, this is Y. Correct? So we'll conserve the momentum. Let's say this angle is theta. So this is velocity V. So this is V cos theta and this is V sin theta. And what is the mass of the third particle? We don't know. So let's say this is the mass. So what is the momentum conservation equation in X direction? So 12 is equal to m into V cos theta. Right? Acha, V is given as 4. So we'll write V as 4. So 4 cos theta. And then you have in the Y direction what you will have? 8 is equal to mass into 4 sin theta. Correct? Now you take the ratio. You can take the ratio of this and this. So tan theta will come out to be 8 by 12, which is something is missing here. 1 kg moves with the velocity of 12. Okay. So we have, now let's calculate this tan theta, how much it is coming? 2, 4, 8. Is it 2 by 3? Let me check. Two into 8. So yeah, there we have a mistake here. So this 8 has a mass of 2. So it would be 2 into 8. Right? Now it is correct. So now again we will divide it again, right? So tan theta is nothing but 2 into 8 divided by 12. That is 4 by 3. So if tan theta is 4 by 3, you can put cos theta here and you will get the value. In any of the equations you can put 4 by 3, this is 5. What is cos theta? Cos theta is 3 by 5. So 12 is equal to m into 4 into 3 by 5. So from here you will get m as 5. Clear? Understood? You can do with the vector method also, right? That is correct. But I found it this as easier method, so I did like that. Understood? Next. 2 spheres each of mass m and radius r by 2 are connected with a massless rod of length 2r. As shown, the moment of inertia of the system about an axis passing through the center of mass of one of the spheres and perpendicular to the rod. About an axis passing through the center. So we have to calculate about this. Let us calculate about this. So about this, the moment of inertia is due to 2 things. One is because of this sphere itself, and about, you know, there would be a contribution of this sphere on this as well. So let us try to do that, right? So what is the formula for a solid sphere? Moment of inertia, that is 2 by 5 mr square. So 2 by 5 m into r square, which is r by 2 whole square, plus due to this sphere also we have a moment of inertia. And what is that moment of inertia? I is equal to, can you apply the parallel axis theorem here? right? Please try to apply once. So you will have 2 by 5 passing to the center of one of these spheres. So you will have 2 by 5 mr square by 2 again, and then you will have m into 2r whole square, right? So let us do it. So again, due to this sphere, now about this axis, it would be 2 by 5 mr by 2 again whole square plus m into 2r whole square. So what we will get from here, 2 by 4 mr square by 4. So 4 by 5 mr square by 5. So it will be 21 by 5, I guess. Yeah. So you just solve, you just have to solve this, right? So it would be 21 by 5, right? Clear? Due to this sphere, and again because of that sphere on about this axis of this sphere, you have to also calculate, right? So that is a term of m into 2r whole square plus 2 by 5 mr by 2 whole square. Clear? Next. Okay, so I'll move fast a little bit now. Time period of an Earth satellite in a circular orbit is independent of the mass of the satellite. That is correct, because this is the mass where m is the mass of the Earth. Clear? A wire of length L and cross-sectional A is made of a material of Young's modulus I. If it is stretched by an amount x, the work done. So I'll just tell you the formula, you can calculate. Work done is half Young's modulus into strain square into volume. You apply this formula here, you will get the answer, right? Simple. If the work done in increasing the size of the soap film is from this to this, so you have been given first area, you have been given second area, so A1 is given, A2 is given. What is the work done? Work done is 2T delta A. Why we are adding 2? Because there are two surfaces in the soap film, right? So you will calculate that. We are running short of time, so I'll be fast. At what speed the velocity of head of water is equal to pressure head? So pressure head is P by rho g and velocity head is V square by 2g. You calculate that. What is P? P is nothing but rho g h, correct? And this rho and this rho are different, right? So please mind that, because it is asking you of mercury, right? So this is mercury, Hg, and this is water, correct? If the terminal speed of a sphere of gold is this, so again, in this, what is the concept? Concept is that terminal speed is directly proportional to the difference of the densities. So the density of the body minus density of the liquid. You have to apply this formula and you have to take the ratio, right? Understood? You have to do the calculations yourself. A uniform vertical field E is established between two parallel plates. In this field, a small conducting, so this basically what it is saying, you have to calculate the time period of the pendulum, which is 2 pi under root of L upon G effective. What has changed here? Only thing which has changed here is G effective, because you will have a force of QE here. So basically mg is acting downwards and QE is above, so the net force is given by mg minus QE, which is equal to m into G effective. So from here you calculate the G effective and you put there, right? Understood? Next, a plane convex lens, plano-convex lens. So this is the lens and we are silvering it from here, right? Correct? Now we have an object which is here at some distance u, and they are saying that it should form the image at the same part, right? When will the object form the image at the same part? Because when it is at the center of curvature of this mirror, right? Then only it will happen. So this is basically a combination of this and this mirror, correct? And for this object to form image at the same, what will happen? It will have to be at the basically radius of curvature of this mirror. So what you have to do in this question is, you have to first calculate the focal length of the lens, right? So that you can calculate by 1 by f, that formula you have, right? 1 by f is equal to mu minus 1 upon r1 minus 1 upon r2. From here you calculate the focal length of the lens, right? And you calculate the image distance, and image distance has to be at the radius of the curvature, correct? So by applying the lens formula, you have to do like this: 1 by v minus 1 by u. And what is v? V is the image distance, and that has to be same as that of the radius of curvature, which is minus 30 centimeter. Right? You calculate the focal length from that formula, keep V here, you will get U. Clear? So again, in the case of minimum deviation, the ray becomes parallel. So only in this case it is parallel, right? So that is the answer. Thin mica sheet, you are keeping a material of refractive index here. So just remember, whenever you are keeping the refractive index, a material of refractive index there, what happens? There is a change in the path difference, and how much is that change? Mu minus 1 by t, and that is equal to d sine theta. So basically you calculate mu minus 1 times of t is equal to d times of small y by capital D. In this case, small d is nothing but twice of d. Do remember this. So mu minus 1 into t is equal to twice of d into y by capital D. From here you calculate the value of y, right? Next, this is pretty straightforward. We can move forward. So you can see that if this is 1, this is 1, this is 1, this is 0, the result is 1. This is 1, this is 1, result is 1. This is 0, this is 1, result is 1. So it is an OR gate basically, right? Next, a silver ball of mass of radius 4.8 is suspended by a thread, UV light of wavelength. This incident on this is energy fall. So basically what you have to do here is, this is the sphere, photon is coming and it is emitting electrons. So because of the emission of electrons, this sphere is getting a charge. So first you have to calculate how many electrons are emitted. Let's say n electrons are emitted, then this sphere will get a charge of plus n, and the potential would be kq, which is a charge, n into 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulombs divided by radius. So your major hurdle here is to calculate the number of electrons. And how will you calculate? First, by calculating the number of photons. We know that what is the energy? Energy is 10 to the power minus 7, and that is number of photons into hc by lambda. From here you calculate the number of photons, and for each photon, for 1000 photons you are emitting 1 electron. So from there you calculate the number of electrons. Clear? Again, this is very simple. F naught by Fe, you know, the angular magnification, that is 5. The distance is given. What is the distance? F naught plus Fe is given to you. That is how much? 36. From here you can calculate. I think the answer will come 1, right? Clear? You have to consider mg is greater, right? You are correct, it will not oscillate, but in such cases you have to consider it is greater. What is the ratio of the shortest wavelength of Balmer series to the shortest wavelength of Lyman series? So Lyman, Balmer, so Lyman starts from 1, Balmer starts from 2, and for shortest wavelength, then N2 has to be infinity, yes? So very, very simple again, you have to apply, just apply the formula. What is the formula? 1 by lambda is equal to Rz square, 1 upon N1 square minus 1 upon N2 square. That is my formula. A tuning fork of frequency is held near the open end, which is closed at the other end. So you can directly use the formula here. What is the formula? Lambda is equal to 2 times of L2 minus L1. And what is the speed? Speed is equal to frequency into wavelength, right? Clear? At room temperature, it is in an intrinsic semiconductor, the current due to electrons is IE, current due to holes is H. So basically net current is IE plus IH, but since the mobility of electrons is more, IE is greater than IH, which means that this value as a whole should be less than 2IE. Yes? So it's, sorry, I'm so sorry. It has to be less than 2IE, correct? Understood? If the binding energy per nucleon is this and this, so basically very, very simple. What is the energy of the reaction? It is the binding energy of products minus binding energy of electron, reactants, right? So binding energy of products you can calculate 2 multiplied by this number of nucleons of helium 4 multiplied by what is binding energy per nucleon? 7.06, is it 7.06? Yes, it is 7.06 minus that of the lithium 7 multiplied by 5.6. So you can calculate this. The depletion layer in p-n junction, that is due to the diffusion of charge carriers. Very, very simple, right? in a stationary wave, all particles of the medium vibrate in the same phase. So you have to see here that what is a stationary wave. It is like this, right? So this is a node, this is antinode, this is antinode, right? So they all of them don't vibrate in the same phase. All of these are vibrating in the same phase. All of these are vibrating in the same phase, right? So but all of them are not. So A is wrong. If A is wrong, you can see that only answer is 3, correct? Right? You can eliminate the options. On photosensitive surface of threshold wavelength. So threshold wavelength is given. Again, this is a very simple question. So you have been given the threshold wavelength, right? So you have to use the photoelectric equation. What is that photoelectric equation? Maximum kinetic energy is equal to hc by lambda. What is the lambda incident? You have to write it here, minus hc by 5 lambda, right? So first you write lambda as 3 lambda here, then you write lambda as lambda here, and then you calculate the ratio. Very, very simple, right? Speed of the incident photons, that is same, because that is 3 into 10 to the power 8. So this ratio is 1:1. So that is 4, right? So B is 4, A is, you have to calculate. So this is how you will calculate momentum. Again, momentum, how will you calculate? Momentum is h by wavelength. So again, very simple, that has to be 1:3, I guess, because the ratio of wavelengths is 3. So C ka, it has to be 1. So I think it should be 3, right? So you can do like that, right? Last two questions. The magnifying power of a simple microscope is positive, that is correct. Magnifying power of a compound microscope is negative, that is also correct, right? Last question. Out of the radio waves and microwaves, the radio waves are more diffracted. So longer the wavelength, more is the diffraction. So waves, so basically, you know, the wavelength of radio waves are more. So hence they are diffracted more. Diffraction is more for waves that have longer wavelengths, that is correct. Radio waves have more wavelength, that is why they are diffracted more, so that is also correct, and it is the correct explanation, right? So I think this is clear. So I'll depart now. Thank you so much for being here, and next you will have another session. Yeah, sorry, I'm so sorry. Continuation.
Hello, good evening, my dear students. How are you all? This is Dr. Suresh, Faculty of Chemistry. So today we are going to discuss about NEET Grand Test, and every day we are going to discuss this test, and please attend, and you can ask any kind of doubts in the chat box. Yeah, how did you biology, physics? Yeah. So let's see the first question of the day. So consider the following statements. I'm going to take, as it is already 9 o'clock, I'm going to take a limited number of questions before this, right? Okay, let's talk about, consider the following statements. So take a note of it, and everybody, certain questions can be cracked by using simple tricks and simple inorganic methodologies. So let's follow. Statement 1 is given, 2 and 3 are given. Statement 1, U2 plus, 4M2 plus has a F7 configuration and it is a strong reducing agent. Yes, it is correct. So I'll tell you why so. So EU2 plus is converted into EU3 plus. So all lanthanide elements, you have the +3 general electronic state is confidently, you can say, so that it can be last one electron. So this process is called oxidation. So it is going to be reducing agent. Yes, it is a reducing agent. Similarly, you can say ytterbium-2 plus can lose an electron and become, it is stable, ytterbium-3 plus, so which is actually stable, and this process is also loss of electron is called oxidation, and it is going to be a good reducing agent. Therefore, we can say this is also a true statement. And if you want to see here, terbium plus 4 is going to take an electron, becomes a terbium, and plus 3. So I just want to say this process is a gain of electron, and it is a reduction process, and it is going to be an oxidizing agent. By considering this is a true statement and this is a true statement, and I would say this is also a true statement, and 1 and 2 and 3 are the correct statements. For inorganic chemistry, tables are there in the NCERT textbook. You pursue the tables and try to analyze these tables, and you will understand and which is more stable, which is getting oxidized, the order of their physical properties and the stabilities. And this is the same thing I want to say here. So the trick what I used, lanthanide elements, you are going to see plus 3 common oxidation state. By using this, we can go ahead with that. Okay, moving ahead, one more question. Match the list. Lithium fluoride, calcium oxide, cesium bromide, potassium chloride. It is going to be 1p. Largest internuclear distance is directly proportional to the size of atom. Size of atom. जिसका atomic size बड़ा है, उसका bond length भी ज़्यादा होगा. So that internuclear distance means bond distance. You can say it is going to be, P is going to be given 3 because the 3 is a cesium bromide, they are the largest. Similarly, NS2 NP6 configuration of both anion but not cation. So NS2 NP6 is not there with cation. Which case it is? Because of your lithium fluoride. Lithium is not having the inert gas configuration. Okay, it is NS2 NP6. It is NS2 helium configuration. Are you getting not, Kirti? So dear students, we can discuss the doubts in the chat box, and so that we can raise it. Okay, and also isoelectronic, both cation anion भी isoelectron होना चाहिए. इसके लिए you can take calcium, potassium chloride, K plus and Cl minus. K plus and Cl minus are having organic organ configuration and 2 unit charge on each ion. Of course, calcium 2 plus and O2 minus. Like that, NEET examination, everybody, I just want to say one thing here. NEET examination is not asking about how depth of subject you know, but NEET examination always explore you guys how you are able to understand and your knowledge level and your application, and only NCERT textbook related questions you do it, you never go beyond that. Okay, talking about this next question, the species with the least ionic radius. So you want to talk about the ionic radius, first you have to consider number of shells. That is the first criteria. So ionic radius is directly proportional to number of shells. This is the rule number 1. If number of shells are same for isoelectronic species, radii is directly proportional to the negative charge and radii is inversely proportional to the positive charge. So all are having 10 electrons, everybody is isoelectronic here. So you are going to see this is the largest and this is going to the smallest. So which is the least ionic radius? It is supposed to be option 4. So dear children, you can just see it is an option 4, and during the complete combustion of methane, what change in hybridization does the carbon atom undergo? So when methane is alkane, it is subjected for the combustion, it is going to give us carbon dioxide and water and heat. So what is the hybridization of the carbon in this? In alkane, carbon undergo sp3 hybridization. In carbon dioxide, carbon is linear, so that is going to be sp hybridization. So इस केस में कार्बन का जो hybridization है sp3 से sp तक बदल रहे हैं. So sp3 to sp is the correct answer for this question, my dear children. So as the time is very less, I just want to just run like a rocket. So for NEET examination, precision is important and time management is important. You maintain this, definitely medical seat is yours. So be confident. From infinity lane, we are all supporting you guys, and you are going to do the best. Any kind of doubt you can ask, and your doubt is one click away. So 0.1 mole of H3POX is completely neutralized by 0.56 gram of potassium hydroxide. Do you know potassium hydroxide molecular weight is going to be 0.56, okay? So number of moles of potassium hydroxide is equal to 0.56 upon 56 is equal to 0.01. So 1 mole of this is neutralizing with 1 mole of this. So I want to say H3POX, 1 mole of H3POX neutralized by 1 mole of potassium hydroxide. So it has only one acidic hydrogen. So it has only one H plus it can contribute. So if you consider this P double bond O, and you have OH and H and H. I want to say H3PO2 is the correct structure. You want to say H3POX, H3POX. I would calculate X is equal to 2. My answer is going to be X is equal to 2, and the given acid is monobasic. Why it is monobasic? It is going to be monobasic. Understand? Clear? It is going to be a super awesome question. You are going to get this typical model of NEET examination question. Typical model of NEET examination question. Everybody focus here. If any doubt you can ask us. If you have any doubt you can ask us. Dear children, chat box is open. You can discuss the things with us. And coming to one more. Yes, answer is going to be 2. Which has the maximum dipole moment? Which has the maximum dipole moment? Here, this bond moment is going to cancel this bond moment, and the rest is going to be in this way. And this bond moment is absolutely cancelled. Dipole moment is going to be 0. And this bond moment is cancelled by this bond moment. This dipole moment is going to be 0. When it comes to these two are cancelled, and resultant dipole moment will be in one direction, while these 3 are in counteracting, so dipole moment is going to be good. So I would say resultant dipole moment will be highest. Rohit, dipole moment is going to be 2 here. This is the way you have to participate in discussion. My dear children, answer is 2. And according to valence bond theory, the bond in the methane are formed due to the overlapping of. So methane is formed due to the overlapping of sp3 hybridation s orbital. That is according to hybridation. But here in the valence bond theory, you can say carbon electronic configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2px and py and pz. Okay, you are going to see one, and so carbon is going to be 1s2, 2s1 excitation होने के बाद, okay, 2px1, py1, pz1. So in this case it is going to form s orbital. इनका साथ एक बार s orbital of hydrogen, and s orbital of hydrogen इसमें हाइब्रिडेशन बिना हाइब्रिडेशन पकड़ के ये बॉन्ड फॉर्म होने का संभावना है. सो दैट सभी का सभी सिग्मा बॉन्ड होगा. दिस इज अ सिग्मा बॉन्ड, दिस इज अ सिग्मा बॉन्ड, सिग्मा बॉन्ड, सिग्मा बॉन्ड. ये VBT का हिसाब से ऐसे होगा. हाँ, यस आंक्षा, VBT एक्सटेंशन करके हाइब्रिडेशन एक्सप्लेन किया. ये एक्चुअली कॉन्ट्रोवर्शियल था. सो हाइब्रिडेशन कॉन्सेप्ट लाइनस पॉलोइंग से निकला, and here VBT से only overlapping of the atomic orbitals. ठीक है? So here lot of confusions are there, and this is the final one. You have to take it and you just fix it. Fine, that's good, very important. So according to VBT बोला ना hybridization ना करना है बेटा. Ashka. Okay, now match the compounds given list 1 with oxidation state. Array, if you say this is -1 0 and it is going to be -2. Okay, counter ion का कुछ अलग कलर देना चाहता हूँ. 0 -1 into 2. Okay, here -2. Just check it. You only get it. So -2 into 3. And it is going to be +1. And here it is going to be 0. Metal carbonyls. In metal carbonyls, the metal oxidation state is always 0. Mind it, is always 0. Yes, that's good. And you can find the answer as a 3. And you can find it, you can calculate. It is a very fundamental question and you can do it. And 0.1 mole of solution, which of the following compounds will have the lowest freezing point? And this is a super awesome question, my dear children. Not only this question, I am going to give you a super awesome trick. Everybody can use this. Now look at this. So colligative particles. So I value is equal to number of particles after association or dissociation, and upon number of particles before association or dissociation. Before association or dissociation. So I stands for the number of particles over here. So effective number of particles. So as I value, what is I value? 1.5 factor. Okay. So as I value increases, number of particles increases. Number of particles increases. Now as a result of this, what happens? Vapor pressure increases, and this result gives you vapor pressure increases, vapor pressure decreases, boiling point increases, freezing point decreases, and osmotic pressure increases. ये logic पकड़ के you can answer 100 different types of questions, mind it. Now if you solve so, you are going to get Fe2 plus SO42 minus 2NH4 plus and SO42 minus. Okay, so you are going to get how many ions? You're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ions. I got it per 1 mole. Now you want to do it is going to be 3 moles. You want to do it is going to be K3 4 moles, and it is going to give you just 2 moles. So number of particles in this option 1 is the highest, है ना? Yes, Sunil Dara. Now talking about maximum number of particles, it is going to be freezing point is the lowest. Freezing point is going to be the lowest, right? So chemistry class chal raha hai, Sunil Dara. So I'll convey your regards and your greetings to Kiran ma'am, right? That's good. Next one is going to be read the following, and I read it, and correct decreasing order of wavelength of the light absorbed when these compounds are dissolved in the water and the solution is made, and this solution is subjected for absorption of radiation. So जिसका एनर्जी ज्यादा है इसका वेवलेंथ कम होगा, क्योंकि एनर्जी इज इक्वल टू hc by lambda बेटा. एनर्जी इज डायरेक्टली प्रोपोर्शनल टू 1 by lambda. ठीक है. सो जिसका एनर्जी ज्यादा है, कौन सा एनर्जी? क्रिस्टल फील्ड स्प्लिटिंग एनर्जी. So crystal field splitting energy is directly proportional to strength of ligand. So strength of ligand पकड़ने के लिए कुछ ट्रिक होगा तो किसी बता सकते हैं? Yes, C donor is more than N donor is more than O donor is more than halogen. So C donor किसका ज़्यादा है? Cn minus E is going to be greater. Okay, Cn is going to be greater and is going to be En, nitrogen is greater. Ethane diamine is greater than NH3. Okay, so this is the strength of the ligands, and energy is going to be in this way, wavelength is going to be in the reverse way, so that the answer is going to be 3 is the correct answer. Are you getting or not? Clear? And it is going to be very, very simple, and this type of questions are pretty important for the NEET examination. So you are all doing NEET examination preparation in the highest peak level, and maintain the stability of your mindset in the last moment. That is the key point. Okay, in this kind of question there is a same ligand and different metal, then how to solve it? So you have to take Ashka, you have to take the oxidation state of the metal. So more the charge, more is going to be crystal field splitting. Understand? Then you have to see the strength of the ligand. If the chelation is there, more strength will be there. You understand? Clear? Yes. Now the atomicity of nitrogen is going to be 2, X is going to be 2, and atomicity of the white phosphorus, it is going to be P4. So Y is equal to 4. I want to say X plus Y is equal to 2 plus 4 is equal to 6 is the answer for this question. Got it? Clear? Now given below, helium is filled in meteorological studies. Of course, helium is lighter gas and non-inflammable. Yes, this is true, and the reason is also true. So I want to say A and R both are true, and R is the correct explanation of A. And I want to skip some questions. Okay, the oxo anion, because the time is limited, so that we have to finish, because your time is also very important. If I continue the class up to night, very late night, it is difficult to you to just, your daily routine is going to be changed, which is not good. Okay, you are all good students. Now would be good time. Now it would be good time, my dear students. So here CrO for 2 minus Cr NCRT का हिसाब से it is given like this. It is given like this. NCRT का हिसाब से it is given like this. Okay, NCRT के हिसाब से ऐसे दिया. It's a controversial, no, but we have to follow the NCERT only. It is going to be, all bonds are same. So where you can see the oxo anion that contain all equivalent MO bonds are, yes, of course, the MO bonds are same in the case of this and this. Okay. Now CuSO4, HCl and H2S, you are going to get a CuS, and you are going to get, this is a copper 2 plus here. Okay. So this copper 2 plus is going to react with K4 FeCN6. So plus copper 2 plus from the compound A, it is going to give rise Cu2 FeCN6, qualitative practical inorganic chemistry. So it is a chocolate brown color. So it is a confirmatory test for cupric ion. So I want to say it is a chocolate color. Answer 1. So 1 and 3 is not in option, sir. Okay, we'll check it. Okay, we'll check it. ठीक है? Quick. अब जितना questions कर सकते हैं उतना ही करना है. Okay, the correct IUPAC name 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is 3-formyl 4-oxobutanoic acid is the correct answer. मैं एक चीज बताना चाहता हूं, अगर जो aldehyde ग्रुप है ये प्रिंसिपल कार्बन चेन में ना इंक्लूड करना चाहता हूं, फॉर्माइल लिखना. अगर ये कार्बन कंटेनिंग फंक्शनल ग्रुप aldehyde प्रिंसिपल कार्बन खुद ही इंक्लूड करना चाहता हूं, इसके लिए आप ऑक्सो लिखना. Okay, in the last question I'll come back to that because time is running short. That's the reason why I just want to make shortcut of this. Okay, don't worry, I'll take care of you. Okay. So, and this actually, yeah, this is a trap. This question is a trap. Ashkam, just in the last question, if time permits, we will go back. Otherwise, just mention in the comment box, I am going to reciprocate it. Okay. And these two are actually tartaric acid. This is a mesotartaric acid and this is optically active tartaric acid. This A and B are actually diastereomers. These two are diastereomers. Okay. And you are asked to select incorrect. So that's the reason why it is said to be trap. When you see the question paper for, always check whether it is given as a correct or incorrect. Okay. A and B are diastereomers. सही बात है. A and B are configurational isomers, stereoisomers. Of course, stereoisomers configurational. A and B are enantiomers. गलत बात है. They are not enantiomers. Non-superimposable mirror images are called enantiomers and non-superimposable non-mirror images are called diastereomers. Okay. So answer is going to be 4 only. Answer is going to be 4 only. So देखता हूं कितना कर सकता हूं. 1 minute. Everybody stay tuned. Coming back to the next question, dear children, organic chemistry, your favorite one. Array, for the minimum value of pKa, जिसका pKa कम से कम है, you should have the maximum acidity. Maximum acidity के लिए आपका high strong minus effect चाहिए, जिसमें strong minus effect is given to inductive effect के लिए. It is supposed to be nitro group. So my answer is going to be, so if you take this as a nitro group, this nitro group is going to make this alcohol is more and more acidic. Okay, at the edit master, what is that? Okay, next. Yes, it is going to be 3. Now let's see, in this case, this is a very important. When this is benzylic hydrogen is reacted with Br2 in the presence of sunlight, this benzylic hydrogen is substituted. So Br is formed and it is going to be CH3 and CH3 and it is going to be benzene. Okay? And if it is an aqueous KOH, so B is supposed to be nucleophilic substitution reaction. It is going to be CH3 and CH3 and this is your structure B. Now it is treated with a concentrated H2SO4. The structure is going to be dehydration of alcohol. It is supposed to be CH2 and CH3. Okay, so you got what is A and what is B and what is C. Okay, so now let us say C decolorizes bromine in water you have to, again it's a trap, incorrect wala nikalne ke koshish karo. So decolorizes, C is an alkene, so it decolorizes. Okay, this is correct. And C on reaction with separately with HBr and peroxide gives the same product. Sahi baat nahi hai, because HBr Markovnikov and HBr in peroxide is anti-Markovnikov. C is also formed in A undergoes the reaction with alcoholic KOH. Yes, A react with alcoholic KOH, you are going to get this, that is elimination reaction, KOH alcoholic. Understand? Clear? And when C when react with H3O plus, you are going to get B. Yes, of course, you are going to get acid catalyzed hydration. So this is correct, this is correct. मैं क्या बोलना चाहता हूँ, option 2 is the wrong option. Option 2 is the wrong option. ठीक है? Now talking about this again. Yes. Now which of the following order is correct for heat released on hydrogenation of 1 mole of each of the compound? I wanted to say here heat of hydrogenation. Heat of hydrogenation is directly proportional to 1 by stability. So the stability of alkene is directly proportional to number of hyperconjugation structures. Number of hyperconjugation structures. Number of hyperconjugation structures can be here, 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 here. So here and here. Number of here. So जिसमें hyperconjugation structures ज़्यादा है. So hyperconjugation का 1 is greater than 3 is greater than 2. And heat of hydrogenation इसका उल्टा होगा. Ashka, got it? That is the logic, you can use it. That is the logic, you can use it. ठीक है? Yes, that's good. Next. Array, this is a Teflon. Teflon can be used for non-stick cookware. Pyrene means it is fire extinguisher, and under the name CCl4 is called pyrene. It is used in the fire extinguisher. DDT, it is a non-biodegradable insecticide. And freon, freon is a ozone layer depletion. So you check the answer here, it is going to be 3. And let's see, and here correct order of rate of dehydration. So rate of dehydration. So rate of dehydration is directly proportional to stability of carbocation. इसमें stability of carbocation ढूंढना चाहता हूँ. If it is lost, you got it. If it is lost, you got it. If it is lost, you got it. And if it is lost, you got it. Where it is going to be getting more these all electron releasing species, you are going to check this number of alpha hydrogens over here. So here the more stable carbocation is 1 is more stable than 2 is more stable than 4 is more stable than 3. Got it? And the answer is this. Next one is, so this is the trick, everybody please make a note of it. Bacho. Yeah. Next. Bromination of phenol occurs easily than that of benzene. Of course, the OH group present on this benzene is having positive mesomeric effect. So because of this positive mesomeric effect or a positive resonance effect, it is correct. And OH group attaches to the benzene is highly deactivating, which is actually not correct. Your answer is going to be this much. Very good, very good. Okay, next. Let's see, considering the given alcohol. So this is the alcohol can be prepared. It is a tertiary alcohol. Tertiary alcohol can be prepared when ketone react with Grignard reagent followed by hydrolysis. So that is the logic. Formaldehyde react with Grignard reagent on hydrolysis gives rise primary alcohol. Other than formaldehyde, any aldehyde can react with the Grignard reagent followed by hydrolysis gives rise secondary alcohol, and tertiary alcohols is obtained when ketone react with Grignard reagent and followed by hydrolysis. So it's a ketone, okay, it can be. It's a ketone, yes, it can be. If it is not, we have to cross check it, okay. And it's a ketone, it can be. Array, this is an acid chloride. This is an acid chloride. This cannot be. So, without any stress, I just want to give you the answers in the simplest way. Right, beta? And I want to say one more question here. Br2, Fe, Br3 and NO2, it is ring activating. It is ring deactivating. So that you are going to get B as NO2 and it is going to be CH3, and bromination takes place with respect to the ring activating group. ये रिंग एक्टिवेशन ग्रुप का हिसाब से इलेक्ट्रोफिलिक एरोमेटिक सब्स्टिट्यूशन आने का संभावना है. ये SnCl2 में ये नाइट्रो ग्रुप रिड्यूस करने के बाद NH2 बनेगा Br and ये CH3 होगा. This is your C. When this NaNO2HCl का हिसाब से ये अमीनो ग्रुप डायazotized करना पड़ता है. So N2Cl and it is going to be Br and it is going to be CH3. This is benzene diazonium chloride. Now it is going to be Sandmeyer reaction. Sandmeyer reaction के हिसाब से what happened? Diazonium part is going to be brominated. So my question is, see the sequence. You are going to see the answer here as a 2. Got it? Clear? And next one. This is treated with acetic anhydride so that you are going to get an amide. C double bond O CH3. This is your structure 2. It is reduced and you are going to see the formation of NH2, CH2 and CH3. So this is secondary amine, this is an aromatic amine, this is an amide. Basic strength of these 3, this is okay, this is Kirti, this is more, 3 is more basic than 1 is more basic than 2. Understand? Clear? Next. Yes, the correct statement about the following disaccharide. So 6-membered ring is there. It is a pyranose ring. 5-membered ring is there. This is called a furanose ring. Whenever you see, dear students, if OH group is there, this is called alpha configuration. If OH group is in the up, that is called a beta configuration. So pyranose ring का OH group जो था नीचे वाला है. So it is going to be ring A is a pyranose ring and this is called alpha link, and this bond is a glycosidic bond and it is alpha glycosidic bond. Answer is going to be 1. So this kind of questions are pretty important, very important. You need to focus on. So what is the purpose of using ultraviolet light in TLC? When TLC is doing, when ultraviolet light is there, if some invisible compound is going to show fluorescence, so that is going to be fluorescence. So answer 2 is the correct answer. So kind of things are very important. Read line by line from the NCERT, you will understand. Okay, Kirti, fine. Ashka? That's good. Now let's see here 10 milligrams of ammonia react with 20 grams of oxygen according to the following reaction. This is a question related to limiting reagent. Okay, and in this let us find number of moles of NH3 and number of moles of O2. That is going to be 10 grams of ammonia 17 and 20 grams of oxygen. So it is going to 0.588. I'm going to get it is a 0.625. I got it. Okay. Now given number of moles, to find the limiting reagent, given number of moles are 0.588. Iska 0.588 is divided by this, mind it, and here available number of moles 0.625 divided by 5 should be divided, available number of moles should be divided with a stoichiometric number. So you are going to get here how much? You are going to get how much? You are going to get here it is 0.125, 0.147, 0.125 and it is going to be 0.147. So जिसमें division least आ सकता है उसमें a limiting होगा. So this is called limiting reagent. So I just want to say oxygen is limiting reagent. So इसका हिसाब से आप काम करना पड़ता. So a balanced equation का हिसाब से 5 moles of oxygen can give 4 moles of nitric monoxide and 0.625 1 mole oxygen can give 4 by 5 mole nitric oxide. 0.625 mole oxygen gives us 4 by 5 into 0.625 mole nitric oxide. Okay. Weight of nitric oxide is going to be 4 by 5 into 0.625 into molecular weight is 30. That is your answer. So you're going to get 15 is the answer. Answer 15 grams. Clear? It is going to be a super trick to find the limiting reagent. Initially calculate the available number of moles. Given number of moles is divided by the available number of moles, stoichiometric number. Then with the least division you are going to get the limiting reagent. Kirti, how many grand test papers did you keep? I don't keep. So Infinity Learn is working on it. So we have very good number of grand tests. आप जितना grand test कर सकते हैं वो उतना आपको score बढ़ जाता. ठीक है? Naik. Right. Now let's see here. Answer 3. The density of 3 molar solution of sodium chloride is 1.25 gram per milliliter. The molality of the solution would be so molality and molarity is going to be molarity into 1000 upon 1000 into density minus you are going to see the molecular mass into molarity. Molarity into molecular mass of the solute. Molecular mass of the solute is going to be 3 into 1000. 3 is given, na? upon 1000 into 1.25 minus 3 into molecular mass of the sodium chloride is 58.5. 58.5. You got the answer. Everybody will get the answer. Simple trick, na? Simple trick, na? Now let's talk about the carriers method, the estimation of halogens 180 milligrams. So how do you calculate? How do you calculate percentage of chlorine is going to be 35.5 upon 143.5 into weight of AgCl upon weight of organic compound into 100. That is a formula. Again, now we are going to get 35.5 upon 143.5 into weight of AgCl is going to be 180 organic compound milligrams में grams convert करना organic compound 180 grams and I got 143.5 into 10 power minus 3 into 100. So on solving I am going to get it here, tuck 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 tuck. You are going to 35.5 into 180 upon 180 into 100, you are going to get 19.72. So for I am pretty sure Dumas method, Zeldal method and Carriers method, you are going to get one question from the NEET examination. It is my assurance, definitely with my experience I am telling you, you will get it. You will get it. Clear? And Arrhenius equation. So K is equal to A exponent minus EA by RT. Okay. So it is given ln K is equal to ln A minus EA by RT. So the factor EA by RT indicates the molecules having the energy less than activation energy. Okay. And pH of 10 power minus 3 solution of ethylamine is 9. So the ionization constant Kb for the ethylamine is, so pH plus POH is equal to 14. Okay, so POH is equal to 14 minus pH. So it is going to 14 minus pH kitna diya? 9 is given. So POH is going to 5. So OH minus ion concentration is going to be 10 power minus 5. Hai na? 10 power minus 5. So that it is OH minus ion concentration is equal to root over Kb dot C. So 10 power minus 5 is equal to root over Kb into concentration is given 10 power minus 3. So Kb आपको मिलेगा near about 10 power minus 7. Answer is going to be this much. Fine. Clear? Now let's talk about the standard enthalpy and entropy of decomposition of N2O4 and O2 are given 55 kilojoule per mole, 175 joule Kelvin inverse, the respect to the standard free energy change. It is an, of course, an awesome question and a simplest question. We know that, okay, delta G is equal to delta H minus T delta S. Okay. Now, if you directly put the values, you are going to lose the marks. When you solve a question, the time is important, precision is important, and concept is simple, and you can go ahead simply by attending the good number of classes like this. Here, the trap is here. What is the trap? Somebody help me to find out the trap. Here, this is given in kilojoules, na? It is given joule Kelvin, na? So you have to convert this to joules. So delta G is equal to 55 into 10 cube minus temperature 25 degrees centigrade to 93 into S is given 175. Your answer is ready. Now your answer is ready. Trap कहाँ रहते हैं? यहाँ रहते हैं. Are you getting or not? जिसमें answer joules में दिया. Now you are going to get it. Near about 2850 is the answer. Clear? That's good. So a lot of students and with a lot of patience you are all staying with us, and every day we are conducting the classes. Even in the afternoon we are having the classes. NEET marathon sessions are there. You all attend and you can enjoy the questions. Hundreds of questions are being discussed. Okay, now you can see here, here you can see +6 oxidation state. You can just quickly complete this. +6 oxidation state, and it is a +3 oxidation state, and it is a +2 oxidation state and a 0 oxidation state. +6 से +2 बनाने के लिए आपका 3 moles of electron चाहिए. यह 1 electron काफ़ी है, and here it is going to be 2 electrons होगा. आपका क्या पूछ रहा हूँ, here to here कितना होगा, इसका डेल्टा G, ओके, 3 is equal to delta G1 plus delta G2, and it goes like this. Use this follow. Delta G is equal to minus NF E0 cell. Okay, so by applying this you can do it, and this kind of questions are very important. Grand test paper discussion. Yeah, Muhammad Mazib, it all depends upon who is available and all. Okay, we have almost more than a dozen grand tests are there. We are supporting the students preparing for the NEET examination, right? Now moving ahead, a molten solution of aluminum chloride is electrolyzed for 30 minutes using a current of 2 ampere. The amount of aluminum deposited at the cathode is. So how much time I have taken to finish it of maximum number of questions? That indicates the pace that you have to follow it. Muhammad Majib, I think you are attending my classes. I think you are attending my classes in the afternoon. Sometimes I remember your name. So weight of the substance that is deposited is equal to atomic weight into I into T in the seconds upon N into 96,500. It is the simplest formula. You can have it. Yeah, 78th question. We will go back. We will go back. Okay. So this is the 78th question, and the standard enthalpy and the standard entropy. Entropy means here respectively it is given. So this value is delta H and this value is delta S, but this value is given in joules, but it is given in kilojoules. So kilojoule is converted into 55 na, converted into joules. Understand? Clearly 79th also I'll clear it. Okay, so once you do it, you're going to get it is +2850. I'll come back to this question if time provides. So atomic weight of aluminum is going to be 27 into I is 2 ampere, and T is going to be seconds. You have to take seconds. 30 into 60, and aluminum chloride Al3 plus takes 3 electrons, gives rise aluminum, so that it is going to be 96,500. Understand? Ashish Sri Naidu. Now if you solve so, you are going to get 0.33 something will come. Okay, check the answer. It is going to be 3. Now the molar solubility of zirconium phosphate, this is going to be given as 3 zirconium 4 plus and 4 PO4 3 minus. It is going to be 3S and it is going to be 4S. KSP is going to be 3S cube dot 4s to the power 4. Okay, 3s cube 4s to the power 4. So you are going to get this as 6912 to the power 7. That is going to be KSP. So s to the power 7. Okay, S is going to be this much. Got it? So time is running better. So we are going to see that 79th type of questions in furthermore also. I already explained you delta G3 is equal to delta G1 plus delta G2. Here you have to take this delta G is equal to NFE. So this is a step 1 3 electrons, step 2 1 electrons. You have to take this step first equation and the second equation, dono milke 4 electrons required. Here is equal to n is equal to 4. You have to take this is equal to this plus this. Understand? Okay, I can understand your question and you can solve it. If not, you just mention in the comment box. Okay, now I am supposed to close the session by 9 o'clock. Still I am going to get this. Okay, we'll see. It is 9:45 chal rahe. Okay, given leophobic salts are more stable than leophilic salts are more stable than leophobic salts. Yes, it is. Stability of leophilic salts are primarily due to the solvation of colloid particles, and both statements are correct. It is colloids and surface chemistry. Okay, and this is a Le Chatelier's principle. So in this Le Chatelier principle, you can say intensity of the red color decreases in addition of oxalic acid. What happened when oxalic acid is there? Oxalic acid means C2O4 2 minus is going to oxidize, so that it is going to give rise Fe3 plus and CO2. So I mean to say here oxalic acid is going to consume, so you are decreasing the Fe2 plus. So that when it is decreased, deep red color is going to be decreased. Understand? Yes, of course. Take it lightly. Ashka, it is colloids and it is out of syllabus. Leave it. Okay. And addition of aqueous HCl2 and addition of potassium thiocyanate, you are going to increase the concentration, so that it is applied directly the Le Chatelier's principle. Okay, and here among the following, again it's a trap. Again it is going to be a trap. We are coming to the end. Incorrect wala kaun hai? Uncertainty principle rule out existence of definite path of an electron, which is actually correct statement. And the energy of an electron in 2s orbital of an atom is lower than the energy of the electron in that infinity far away from that nucleus. Yes, always electron energy is less than energy at rest. Okay, energy of the electron in an atom is always negative. So O B sahi. And according to the Bohr's model, the most negative energy value of an electron is given by n is equal to 1 and corresponds to the most stable orbit for the hydrogen atom. Okay, and according to Bohr's model, the magnitude of the velocity of electron increases with increase in the value of n. Velocity of the electron is inversely proportional to n. So that ye galat baat hai. Option 4 is the answer. You should have Abdul Sadiq. Okay, next. Okay, we'll see this. Okay, now in the selected option, the correct identifies +7 oxidation state, -1 oxidation state, 0 oxidation state, and +4 oxidation state. You can solve this by using, ion electron method or any other method. So it is going to be 2, 6, 4, and it is going to be and you can correlate it. Which answer is coming? And option 1, right? You can balance it and you can jumble it and you can find if the 2 is there, you can be 2 here. Okay, if 6 is there, it can be 3 here. Now you can solve it. Rest of the things you need not have to take a A4 sheet and do it. There are certain things you can be easily handled. For the reaction of N2O4 and 2NO2, Kp is given as 0.492 atm. And what is the Kc? What is the relation between Kp and Kc? Kp is equal to Kc dot RT to the power delta N. Okay, so delta N for this reaction is going to be 2 minus 1. 2 minus 1 is equal to plus 1. So it is going to be 0.492 is equal to Kc into 0.0821 into temperature 300 Kelvin into delta N is equal to plus 1. So on solving Kc, you are going to get the answer. Understand? 87th question. Huh? Yes. It is, you need not have to balance it. You need not have to balance it. There is a backdoor entry. There is a backdoor entry. You plug it some values. You plug it some values, will understand. Any option randomly you plug it, and you have to measure how many of these are matching. Otherwise, you have to balance it. To balance this, minimum 10 minutes to 12 minutes it will take, na? Or otherwise, you have to take the plus 7 is converted into plus 4, 3 electrons, and 0 minus 1 is converted into it is 2 electrons. You have to swift this. So 2 number is playing a game and 3 number is playing a game. So that is matched by either 1 or 4, then you have to check it. Clear? Okay, it is, yeah, you got it. Kc, Kp kaise nikalne hain? That's fine. And match the items. This is very important and this is also very important. Licalanchi battery, the battery used in this remote controls and all, and wall clocks and all, that's a Licalanchi battery. And 88th question ka, okay, Tabasum, Kp Kc का रिलेशन आता है आपका Kp इज इक्वल टू Kc डॉट RT टू दी पावर डेल्टा N बेटा. इसमें डेल्टा N क्या होता है? डेल्टा N आता है आपका number of sum of the number of moles of gases products minus sum of the number of gases reactants. So product आपका 2 moles का, so 2 minus, and reactant का 1 का 1. So delta N is का plus 1. So Kp is equal to Kp दिया गया and is equal to Kc into 0.0821 into temperature is given as 300 to the power 1. Understand what is the important formula of thermodynamics? Thermodynamics, first law of thermodynamics formula is important, entropy formula is important, and delta G is equal to delta H minus T delta S formula is important, and total thermochemistry, enthalpy of reaction is equal to sum of the enthalpy of products minus sum of the enthalpy of the reactants. In a shortcut, I just 10 seconds I read out all this. Okay. Now, Licalanchi बैटरी उसमें जिंक क्लोराइड इस्तेमाल किया जाएगा. निकेल कैडमियम बैटरी you have it is of course rechargeable battery, and we police carries a walkie-talkie na, there nickel cadmium battery is there. Fuel cell, yes, it is a fuel cell. H2O2 gives rise H2O. Mercury does not involve any solution and use it in hearing aids because it provides constant voltage. Okay, so this is about this 89. Option 2 is the correct answer. So coming to the last, the vapor pressure of the pure benzene. So it is all depends upon here the relative lowering of vapor pressure formula ka application hai beta, and P naught minus Ps upon P naught is equal to mole fraction. So I can say here it is equal to weight of the solute, molecular weight of the solute, and molecular weight of the solvent, weight of the solvent. Okay, so by using P naught kitna diya, vapor pressure of pure benzene is 0.850 minus, and it is going to be 0.845 upon 0.850 is equal to weight of solute kitna 0.5. you have to calculate molecular mass of this, and 39 gram of this, molecular mass of benzene is given 78. So molecular weight of solute you have to calculate, and that is going to be the answer for this. Answer for 170 is the correct answer. So we discussed all the questions in paper में मेरे को 435 बने. Thank you, and stay tuned. Tomorrow I will come with NEET Grand Test 2, and I am not going to exceed anybody's doubt today. Apologies if I 1 or 2 questions repeat करने क्या बोल रहे हैं, लेकिन time permit नहीं कर रहे हैं. So I only skipped to pardon. Okay. So solution में क्या कि question कैसे easy way कैसे, no, I am going to help you a lot. Stay with us for all grand test discussions so that you will understand the best way to do. Okay, best way to do. ठीक है बेटा, and every great explanation. Thank you Amira Moin. And solution में क्या question किसी का easy and difficulties है perception बच्चों. Okay, मान के चलो आप इतना मेहनत कर रहे हैं ना, ओके, इतना मेहनत का आपका अंत में फल मिलेगा बेटा. ओके, अच्छा सोचो अच्छा होगा. सो दीज क्वेश्चन पेपर्स and these question papers are prepared by the eminent faculties in the Infinity Learn team, and definitely final examination, NEET examination, this similar kind of questions definitely will appear in your question paper. Definitely, thank you. Feeling difficult in solving grand test paper, definitely you attend 2-3 sessions so that you will automatically get these simple suggestions. ठीक है बेटा, I don't want to generalize the things. Which is not actually good. Okay. Weightage, chapter weightage में बता सकता हूँ. ठीक है. Okay, we are done. It is almost more than 1 hour. Okay. And we'll meet with more stuff in tomorrow's paper discussion. And signing off, Dr. Suresh, Faculty of Chemistry from Infinity Land. Thank you. Please attend every day the sessions. Thank you very much. Bye bye.